I think we are live. Mate, I think we are live.
Yeah? Let's check it
We are
out.
live. Where's my phone at? Yeah, my
No, we're not live yet.
no, check on my what's it called?
Preference and quick step. Call 98946660
It's live and record.
to arrange a free quote today.
So let me see now.
I'm on your channel.
Floors and shutters in grain quality.
We all know that paying for a funeral can be a financial burden. However, have you ever thought of paying off a prepaid funeral with none of the ongoing premiums that is associated with funeral insurance? $1,000 can get you started. Phil's
You see it's live.
Yeah, but it's not moving here. Is it live on another stream?
Can make it easier for
No, it's
you.
not
Call 02-9659-0900. Ask for Richard Spiteri.
Live to Battlefield Live.
Here we go. It's here.
Yeah, but it's a different link.
Okay, so okay, let me shut down the mic. ceremony to bring us and heal some of the things that we actually don't need no more.
Yes.
Because at a time, you know, even when I go back to some of my ancestors, 1788, there's times where some of those healings, some of those things are still there, but it's kind of, I believe it's up to my generation now to be able to heal through those processes and be able to lead with love and rise above, Mario. What do you reckon about that, brother?
Look, I just want to say thank you because, you know, I'm ashamed, and it's like I'm very ashamed. I'm in this country for 24 years now, and I have no idea. I have no idea nothing about Aboriginal culture, right? I learned some things, you know, to the.
Yes.
I think something's repeating somewhere.
No, we'll be fine.
No,
Let's keep going. Let's keep going.
Okay, that's echo. Okay, so like I don't know nothing about Aboriginal culture because it's like I'm born here. You know, sorry, I'm born overseas. I come to Australia, and nobody teach me nothing, and I think that's the biggest mistake. So I think something's repeating.
Definitely. So what's happening is
Something's repeating here.
it's on your. It's definitely coming through. I think on your.
Oh my eyes on my
On your
iPhone,
on
yeah.
my iPhone. Sorry.
Okay.
Well, I can hear. I could hear my voice there. It might be on the jive.
Let's try again. Okay. Okay, we're still talking here. Okay. I don't know. Let me.
Just
make
turn the
this-
volume down, Mario.
Let me have a look somewhere. Just hang on.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just
yeah.
take it the entire camera.
Yeah,
Just take
yeah.
the entire thing, you know what I mean? So anyway, I like to say thank you, Jai, for the giving me a lecture because I deserve to be lectured. I'm in this
Yeah.
country for 24 years. I have no idea. We spoke this before, brother. Anyway, long story short, while the Roy Padlan tried to sort it out, the volume on Instagram. I don't know what's it. Take it out, Jay. Roy is like,
It's gone.
it's okay
It's
now.
gone now.
It's okay now. Okay, we're gone. Okay, so thank you guys. For that lecture, Jay. And I want to say thank you to all the first people. I'd like to say thank you, everybody, first of all, on a live 90.5. And why I want to say this, when I planned to execute this for last 2 years, you know, the Ainsley Dennis was that one on receiving end continuously. He was that one who was like, I want to do this. And he said, yeah, Marty, yeah, you're going to do it. And then the Roy comes on the scene. I said, Roy, listen, I want to do it. He's like, yeah, Marty, like, I was like, and then Jay comes with some magic, you know what I mean, and something, and boom. And I started doing it. I'm like, so the Jay Pittman guys, you know, like all those who you don't love was Zac Efron, you know what I mean? Go to Jay, you know. Anyway, so like, thank you everybody on live 90.5 from the board, from Jay. I want to say thank you every single presenter who traded their most valuable commodity, taking time to be with me for 56 hours. I want to say thank you to every presenter, every sponsor, and everybody who is listening from the members for giving me time 56 hours. And I give my best together with all these presenters that are going to be here, to the last moment, 6 p.m. on a Monday night, and then taking stretches home, whatever it is. But where to follow us? You can come on our website, live90.5.com.au, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So tune in there. I like to say the Guinness World Record people, they are listening to us across the globe. I got a couple SMSs that, they're patiently waiting online. That's like, just wait, you know what I mean? So they're watching us, they're listening to us, and 24/7 is going to be on YouTube channel, Mario Beckers. I need to change the link because something has happened. Now our rules. Rules are very simple. 56 hours, 1 minute. I can't leave premises. I can't go home, sleep. I can't have a shower. I can't have nothing. Only rules I need to adhere to have the sun break is that the presenters talk on my behalf. Talking 30 seconds dead air, I'm disqualified. I'd like to say Rod Padlan, HDD. I'd like to say thank you, Ainsley. Thank you, Jai, for being here today with me. Means, taking time on this shitty day, it's a rainy, and, everybody's sleepy for some reason. I wake up this morning, I wake up even more, anything else. So I like to say thank you alive, thank you everybody on GW Guinness World Record, and I like to say now, please correct me, guys. You can jump in after this. I have a sip of tea. I like to say thank you all of you who didn't respond to my emails. Thank you for telling me no, and thank you for those who complained Guinness World Record that I'm not supposed to be today here because my English is a shit language, and that I'm not the person who can complete and all these things. So there's a lot of complaints about my English, and the GWR says very clearly it's audio broadcasting, so it can whistle, and these things. So thank you all of those who don't support me as well, because thanks to you today I'm even more convinced that people today in studio with me, around the studio, are the people who are truly worth to my life. So guys, you can take it over and then come to another thing. So,
Well, first of all, Mario, let's lift you up again. Mario, I want you to lift your finger up,
yeah.
point to yourself, and say, I
I
am
am
awesome.
awesome.
You, point
You
to
are
your
awesome.
friend, you
You are.
and you
Yes.
are awesome.
Awesome.
Come on.
That's what it's like. And I think it's a lesson to learn. What do you think, Jay? Is it a lesson to be learned? Honestly, like it's like, the people who are spending least time are here for me. You're not paid, you know what I mean? Like, but I want everybody to understand, nobody gets the cent. Actually, I'm paying more but the thing is, we don't pay nothing. And you come today, there's no blissful cameras. There's no, they're coming late, of course. But, guys, what we think is a lesson to be learned.
I'll share with you,
Yes, please.
Mario, brother, that it's from the very first time I met you, from the very first time that Ainsley said, I want to introduce you to this guy, Jay.
This guy.
I want to introduce you to this guy, Jay. And as soon as I met you, brother, and I popped in, had a bit of a squeeze, there was energy there for me, and it matched your intention, like even now learning about country.
Yes.
And those, but for me to be here, brother, for you to set this massive task that you've got, for you to take on this World Cup challenge.
World Cup challenge. It is World Cup challenge, yeah.
It is.
Freaking hell, I've got your back, brother. I've got your back on this one. And why? Yeah, it's Ainsley, it's the radio station, but more importantly, it's kind of you, brother. This is your dream. In our culture, we talk about this is your dreaming. See, this is your dreaming. This is your purpose. You're doing something. You've chosen to do a walk, and it's a walk you can't do on your own.
No, you can't.
Yeah.
And it's a walk that I've seen a lot of the team here at Alive 90.5 be able to come together, rally together. The energy going, he's got the positive energy show here at 90.5, and just really, you've got backup, brother. Not only have you got Jai, you've also got Ainsley here. He's pulling some of this mindset, magical stuff.
I just want to show you all in the right mojo.
The mojo's already there. We're already happening. I'm loving
Get
being
you
here.
pumped, you know.
Okay, let's go promote it to
How are you feeling, Mario?
Listen, I feel good. Let's
No. How are you feeling, Mario?
I felt.
No.
I feel.
I feel good. Oh, I feel so good. Oh, come on. I feel good.
You know what? I won't ask him in 48 hours. Like when you walk in the Monday morning, like
make
say, how do
sure.
you feel? Ainsley, just to get out. It's gonna be domestic violence. So why I'm doing this? Like this is my second point. Why I'm doing this? It's I just make it very clear. It's not about me, guys. It's all about you. That this task, as Jay says, my dream. It is dream. To do this for a very long time. But why I'm doing this, it's just try to prove that impossible is possible. I'm gonna be in these premises for 56 hours, and I will not be 56 hours here today if there's no people around me who makes this. I said, without you, I said this publicly now, record, everybody can hear it. Without assistance of people here around me in this studio, that this task will not be possible. Because everybody can say, it's easy to do the 56 hours. Yeah, it might, you know what I mean? But there's a certain rules, you know what I mean? To have 2 witnesses every 4 hours. I need to have that many things, it's coming in consideration, you know what I mean? And it's easy to fall into that gravity, you know what I mean? Vacuum, abyss, and say, oh, it's good, it's 56 hours. So why I'm doing this? It's very simple. I'm doing this because I try to prove that impossible, it's possible. And today in studio being with the 3 amazing men, it's something great. So like this is what I try to prove. There is not for me. Hey, yes, I want to say something else. Okay, on a freaking record. This is the no. This I wrote these things just talking too much now.
Mario?
Pace yourself, pace yourself.
Yes, so that means it's like, oh my god. I just want to say, guys, thanks to the Jay Ainsley and HDD. How you say?
Roy Padlin.
The Hills District Dads.
Hills District Dads. I want to say thank you guys for stepping in, because I'll be able to take some break. To have the coffee, tea, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Anyway, we have them now. The thing it is, currently it can be seen on the camera there. People on YouTube.
Yeah.
There's a Carenza Leon here with us.
She's going to come join us.
She kicks us. You know, every man comes in her life is going to be kicked. She does the my type. So,
What? I have no idea what you're talking about.
sorry, what do you say?
I have no idea what you're I'll never hurt you.
Not me, like other ones. So what I try to say, like, thank you, the guys, and thanks to the Jay, Ainsley, and Hills District dads are gonna be able to take some time off for my short breaks. You know, I didn't bring the doona and the pillows, so like I'm gonna sit in the car for half an hour, relax my eyes. So I try to say, yeah, I want to say thank you guys for that one.
No.
Mario, I really want to know.
Yes.
You've been talking about us and alive and what you're doing.
Yeah.
Who is Mario Beckers? Tell us a bit more about you. Tell us about all those books you've written. Tell us about. I've heard you've.
I don't want the commercials.
I heard
This is a
These just happen to be.
Oh my God! It's a nice.
These books just happen to turn up here. How did these get here?
Yeah, look,
Mario.
that's what the aircon is working. That's okay because.
So Mario, that's good. So you've written a book called Blood-Soaked
Do
Soil,
you want up there?
which is quite interesting.
Yeah, we'll just put on side there because
Yeah,
it's
because
that's
cold.
the
Mario,
inside of it.
yeah,
This
yeah.
is aircon. It's good one. Thank you.
That's
bro.
good. And Mario, you're an author, so you've written some books. Tell us about some of those books that you've written.
You know what? Like I don't know. Did you read my papers? That was supposed to be tonight, 2:00 in the morning.
Well, I'm going to stop
like,
now
so
already.
start.
Come on, you have to tell people
Hang
in the
on,
beginning.
hang on, let him plug his thing, and then we'll go with
Oh,
the.
No, it's okay. So the books. Look,
How about just the brief history? Let's get the biography for Mario
What about
first.
the intro
Who
about
the hell
Mario?
are you?
Who
are you
is Mario
really?
Beckers?
Who are you really? Actually,
Mario Beckers
Mario Beckers, businessman extraordinaire.
is renowned. Fuck my English. As a human.
You know what?
Like
You know what that sounds like, by
56
the
hours.
way?
Got to speak Chinese.
Mario,
Good.
Mario, think of it in a positive light.
Yes.
It's like reading your obituary and you're still alive.
Okay. You said something else, I mean, I truly believe, I ask you all three your question.
Yeah.
Jai, Ainsley, and Roy.
Yeah.
If you don't feel well,
Yes.
would you, let's say emotional, emotional, let's say, would you sit on a plane and just go to see Tony Robbins?
what do I go through 10 Robbins?
Because you don't feel emotional, like
Yes.
you need to walk on a fire and all these things, right?
I would, yes.
No, I've got a special. Oh, sorry, where you go?
No, I definitely would.
Yeah,
Because
why don't you?
Why don't I?
Yeah.
Oh, it's just
Now, tell us, honestly, tell us.
Well,
money.
Yeah.
Yeah, money. It's
Money is a hard thing.
So I come to conclusion one thing that and that's a hard for many people to impress. It's hard to impress the Jai, Ainsley as well, another thing, and you too as well.
Mm.
Why would I go to some guy paying tremendous amount of money, and he does all this, public speaking?
Yeah.
So let me go back into public speaking. The human can say 400 words per minute.
Mm.
He can say 125 words ear register. From 125 words we hear nowadays, 25 we can register.
Yeah.
One word mistakenly, it's gone. When you see Tony Robbins, you listen, it's all hype, man. Yeah, and when you finish, you say, what did this guy say? But everybody walking on the clouds and everything else. So we don't go to Tony Robbins because we have no money. Henceforth, what is the difference between Tony Robbins and Jay Pitt when I go to Jay and I talk about my emotional problems or my finances and everything else?
Mm.
Why we don't go to Jay or to you or Ainsley? Tell me.
It's obviously just because of the fact that we don't have the name of Tony Robbins, and that's the thing. He's got the. I guess. What do you think, guys? The kudos for that. That's been his backing for a while, and everyone knows Tony Robbins as the motivational person he is. So, and that's why I see it. But you know what? With Jai here, I'm more than happy to have a chat with him because I love speaking with Jai.
Henceforth, why I truly believe that we are surrounded with the people only because who are unsung heroes, like yourself, like Ainsley, like Jay, Carenza.
Mm.
I cannot be impressed with you remember this guy has a Richard Branson, and he was having this saying in the business, first you say client yes, then worry how you're going to deliver.
Yeah.
And if you remember 2020, when all this hype started, we're all going to die and pandemic, everything else. Does anybody remember when he's stepped out and said, like, can you give me the money and my company goes down if I have no money? Virgin Atlantic. Does anyone remember?
Yeah.
So you go to him, pay so much money, but real life is Jay, you, and that's what I say. I want to convey this message today.
Mm.
This is unsung heroes. This is what people should turn. to the people in society, community. You don't need to go chase the Hollywood stars. It's all showtime. It's everything else. Hence, my books are good. So.
And it ended with the promotion.
Yes,
Okay, so see that you're going to tell everybody about yourself tonight,
Sorry,
and I missed the brief about tonight. Let's talk about Jai a bit.
That's about me.
Let's talk about Jai. Like,
Yeah.
Jai, you tell us more
Okay,
about.
so Jai, tell us a bit about your journey. Because you've taught me quite a bit about, I mean, I've experienced cleansing ceremonies, walk across countries. You've also told me about the different things about, you know, there's didgeridoo.
Didgeridoo, yeah,
I still remember didgeridoo. Maureen, do you know what didgeridoo means?
No, but I know he was Zac Efron.
So didgeridoo, you never say goodbye. Is that correct?
Yeah, we never have a.
You don't have a
In
word
any of
for
my
it?
culture, yeah, we never had a word for goodbye because
Yeah.
now that you see me and now you know me and I know you, that we will always see each other again now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now because our spirits know each other, so it might be up there, and you might call it heaven, or we might call it dreaming,
Yeah.
or it could even be bloody Castle Hill Bunnings. Who knows? Like it could even be back down the local shops, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
So didgeridoo is a word that we use here in Darug country where we live,
You can make a noise.
and that word is a word that we use to say that we're actually finishing up something now, like we're full,
Yeah.
like if we're having a feed, we might be
Yeah.
full,
Yeah.
and it's the ending of something to then move on to something else. Because we never had a word for thank you,
Yeah.
because it was forbidden to not share. See,
Oh, wow.
so we didn't know not sharing. We never had a word for please, because there was an abundance of stuff here that we never had to beg for anything. See.
Yeah.
So these mannerisms have come from across the sea. So
Yeah.
we never knew about about greed, or we never had a word for mine. You
Yeah.
know?
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow, that's fascinating because so everything was, I guess, not just there's no sense of ownership, I guess, in the culture. It's more it's everyone's.
Well, I guess for here, mine, Mario and Roy and Ainsley, kind of comes from. It comes from when there was fences put up,
Right.
and then here in Darug country, a lot of people, a lot of my ancestors, actually, some horrific things happened to them when they had to go and hunt for food when people put up fences.
Share everything, please. You
Yeah,
told
of
me that
course.
story.
I did hear you swear before, Mario. Did you get in trouble for that on this? On what?
Yes,
uh,
and no swear words.
Is there no swear?
$2 in my cookie
Is
jar.
that too
Did
low?
I? Did I swear? Did I swear?
Not about. It was more about we don't want you to get disqualified.
What do
on
you
this
think in that
Guinness
school
Book of
chair?
Records.
Can't you lift this thing?
I'm a tiny person. Okay, it just comes with the package.
Okay, Special K has joined us in the studio. For everybody that knows Special K.
Yes.
Just
Can
talk,
you
just
hear
talk,
as
just
well?
talk.
Oh, okay. Can you guys
Yeah.
hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
All right, I'll talk loudly. Hello, everyone. I just wanted to say, I just want to say, Mario, honestly, this is such a, like I said, an amazing achievement. And you responded to me that it's not just me, it's a collective. It's an achievement for Alive 90.5 and everyone who's coming to support you. So I really do commend everyone getting involved today and all the way to Monday in this incredible feat. And I think it's something that, even if it is just an attempt, even if we don't even get to the end, not that we wouldn't, I have
No,
no
we
doubt.
didn't do it. What are
We
you
will
talking about?
definitely, yeah, we will definitely.
Come
but
on,
even
positive
if-
thoughts, positive
even
spirits.
if,
I am bestowing Mario. He can do it. You know?
Yeah, I definitely believe in him, and
Okay.
I'm very proud. But even if we don't make it, just the effort that comes with everyone coming together and giving their best, I think that's really the positive message here. So I really do give you commend Mario and everyone on Live 90.5. Yeah.
Awesome. No, that's
No,
fine.
I'm just listening to you. I just tried to post something on Instagram so I can tag all of us guys. So, yeah.
He's gonna keep it social.
No, it's
Oh,
not
let
like
me quickly say it again one more
No,
time.
like that's that's what it's like. But I didn't swear. So like I turned the camera here. So this is the little person here. It's
The little bird. I wonder who it is.
no. I didn't say little person.
It's on record. It's on
What you
record.
say? Like you say something, okay? Don't take it wrong against
No,
me.
I'm just kidding.
So like that's the way. So guys, please continue. But it's like I want to say everybody, I'm ashamed, and I was like I'm ashamed, and I come to Australia in '98. I never dreamed to come in Australia. Never.
Yeah.
In my wildest dreams, I will never come to Australia. Honestly, because when I was growing up in Yugoslavia, like all what we learned about Australia was a kangaroo, Skippy, was some type of movie, cartoon, whatever you call it, whatever it is. No, it was a
TV
movie.
series.
TV series, that's correct. Yeah, I mean, and like, he says that's all they have. You know, I mean, literally, honestly, like, and then we had something. You know, don't forget one thing: Yugoslavia was a communist country, and racism, nationalism, you know, this was forbidden. Yeah, my bottom.
Mm.
But we learned that Australia was a white people country, right? And I mean, and we don't understand like, okay, like what does it mean white people country? Like we have no other people. These Aborigines always happily dancing in the forest, you know, with the skippy and everything else, right? When I come to Australia in '98, when I was on a plane, and I was like, I never dream I want to come to Australia. So my government, at that stage, from '96 April to the 1st of May, 30th of May, I was going through transition, which was very secret and very hush-hush, and I was in the Department of Defense, but I was very being poached after my father's funeral. I was being poached by the Foreign Affairs. It was called Directorate 7, which is Foreign Intelligence and Counterintelligence and all that happiness, you know, being in the world of espionage. And I said, this is good, you know, 007, and I said, calm down, you know, champ, you know, it's not just you're gonna do 007, there's no 007 life. So when I was flying Australia on the 18th of November '98, I was landing. I was like, there's a green things here. It's a buildings, honestly. Because you know, like I was showed depicted.
What, 88 was it?
98.
98.
Yeah, 98. And I was like,
What do you mean green things? You just was it built up there?
I know I just told you because we have a geography like in primary school for 6 years and high school as well. And Australia was never being considered like any country except they have an ozone hole. And like, whoa! I don't want to go there because you don't want to die. You know what I mean? That's all we knew about. Entire Europe doesn't know.
Well, they portray Australia overseas as a desert.
Yeah.
A big. You just see the Darwin and the Northern Territory and Alice Springs and the desert. You just see red sand.
It's just out there.
And when I got here, I'm like, where's all this beautiful scenery that I've seen around in Sydney?
Well, there is. There's a lot of beautiful scenery in Sydney.
Yeah, no, there is, but I'm just saying it doesn't look like the
Outback.
outback.
When did you come to Australia, Lindsay?
I got to Australia in 2006.
Wow. What about you, Roy?
1980.
You're the one.
When did you come to Australia, Corinza?
I was born and raised in Sydney.
Jay, you know Jay does like this.
Yeah,
You're all bloody
but my
foreign.
parents are my
And then
parents.
Well, you know what though? I'm more Australian than I am Filipino, so it's fine with me.
Same as my parents.
So
They're
yeah,
from
that's the thing.
Australia.
I've adopted this culture and everything that's you know with it. So
Say something in Filipino for us.
like what?
I don't know, just tell us something nice.
Have a nice
Hello,
day.
kuya.
Oh, yeah.
Is that
What's
Australia?
What's
Kumusta? Is that how are you? That sounds
That's
Italian.
hello. Yeah, well, it's think about there's
Kumusta, kumusta. Okay.
well the thing about the Filipino language, which is not pure Tagalog, because there's pure Tagalog, but there's Filipino language is basically set on the Spanish influence. So a lot of our words are very Spanish oriented.
Oh, no.
So and a lot of the food as well is very.
Well, talking about food, Roy, maybe you could share a little bit about ballots.
Oh, Balot.
Do you know what maybe we can tell Mario
I'm
about
sorry, I'm still on Instagram. So.
Okay, what's balot?
Balot is there's from what I understand there's about 3 different types. Alright, so there's the 7-day. It's a duck
Mario, listen
embryo.
to this one, brother.
Alright, so
Yeah,
it's basically an egg, which is steamed. But
Is this
duck-
with the real chicken in there?
No, it's duck. It's duck embryo. So there's different types. There's a 17th, I think, to up to an 18-day-old embryo in there, and you eat it.
Not just the yolk.
Hang on, is it like...
Yeah.
It's
that
feathers,
alive?
beak. No, that's not alive. It's dead, but it's inside. It's an
So it's
unhatched egg.
rotten.
No,
Well,
It's like...
it's not. It's
That's
an
kind
unhatched
of like an
egg.
embryo.
Hang
Yeah.
on. Okay.
Let me
It hasn't
explain
hatched yet, so it's still live.
Yeah, it was still alive, or it was still growing,
And
and
then
when
they
it was
cooked it.
steamed,
And then they cooked it.
and then it's cooked.
No, that is just cruel.
hang on. But there's also ones that are not cooked too, Roy, right?
Yes, there's the raw.
And
ones.
and there's raw.
Okay,
my
so
neighbours,
That's
my
like having an
neighbours,
abortion.
my neighbours taught me about this. But
Yeah.
what happens, right? What happens? This is what my neighbour was telling me. I love this cultural exchanging stuff, right? This is really
Yes.
big for me. Right? I love this stuff. I live for this stuff.
You remind me of the movie 300. So what are you doing?
But Mario, let me show you this story about this Filipino
Please.
neighbour of mine who shared so much about the culture of in Philippines and about balots, right?
Yeah.
And balot was the egg, was a little duck egg, or also a chicken egg too. I think that there's also.
It's usually just made with duck.
It's just duck.
Yeah.
But then what happened was that she put a little hole
Yeah.
in the egg and
She did it.
and drink the juice out of the egg,
Oh, the
right?
egg, yeah.
Yeah.
You actually
And
switch
then,
I'm
and then at the
feeling
end,
nauseous.
like it's Easter, you just crack the egg open and then you eat the chicken, the little duck.
Yeah,
and eat
so
it.
it's still got its yolk sac, it's still got the beak and the feathers in it.
But Mario, you know the beautiful
it's
thing,
a
Mario?
tasty, it's a tasty
Maria, I'm
treat.
just
It's an aphrodisiac, I've heard.
Yes,
I'm
it is.
sorry. I thought, you know, I'm from Africa, okay?
Yeah,
And
you
I
guys
must
eat
say-
a lot of stuff.
No, 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 no.
Come on, man.
The biggest thing that I don't miss about Africa, but we grew up with a lot of organs.
Organs.
Gizzards.
Organs, yes.
Yeah, all good, man.
Like they sell in the shops, you walk and you just see kidneys there, you see liver.
Sorry, what country that it is?
Africa,
South Africa.
South Africa.
Yeah, that's
What do you
all
mean? What do you mean?
Kidneys from the animal. Animal.
Yeah,
Yeah,
gizzards.
So that's normal, man.
That's
Fuck.
normal.
My mom just put deep freeze the freaking kidneys, lungs in the brain, and
Liver
Yeah.
and the brains
yeah, like
Yes,
in the big
everything.
brain.
and
and
trump and trotter.
But you know, can I say just before this, you know, in Australia, I
Yes.
come in restaurant, they have the bone marrow for the, you know,
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh,
I
love
love
bone
and I said like, oh my god, look at these peasants, because I had this almost every day, right?
Yeah.
And the brain and the tongue and all this, and I couldn't.
Yeah, do you know how much bone marrow is in a restaurant? It's
Yeah.
expensive.
Yeah, but you know, my mom, she look what's happened. Okay, sorry, you finish first with your
Yeah,
body,
yeah. Anyway.
body parts in
So when in Africa, I'm going to say something in African for you because we have a thing called labola.
Yeah.
I'll tell you about labola. A labola is a cultural thing because when you marry somebody, it's actually a very expensive exercise in Africa. You actually have to give to the family a gift for your bride.
All right.
And a generous gift could be 20 cows, 50 sheep,
Yep.
30 pigs, 100 chickens. You know, that's normally what's expected for when you want to marry somebody in Africa. So they do trade and barter with animals and pride, and it's called a border. You have to pay for your bride, for the
Like a
family.
dowry.
Like a dowry,
Like a
yeah.
Showing of intention too, right?
It's a show of
Showing of
intention.
value.
Is that the guys give the thing, or do the women have
No,
to?
no, the guys have to give
So the
for
guys
the
have to.
women.
So it's like
Yeah.
it's like a reverse dowry. Yeah.
It's a
Oh
reverse
my
dowry.
god.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
which is interesting. And when a young girl gets married, they do a song which is called the click song. And it's also the language, the Xhosa language, and it's Inkricha, Lelela, Nkwane. It's like Nkwane.
I still can't get the trick.
I'm just becoming South African. I'm a man of this universe. That's what I'm just jumping straight in.
I can't believe this.
So, yeah. But you gotta try the babuk, man. I mean, we do have there is a Filipino dish as well, which has got all the organs in it.
Which
What's
is
the
Everything in
thing
there.
that
Which
you
is-
made me try?
So there's a couple of things, but this one I forgot what it's called. But I every time I ask my mum,
Yes.
right, to make it,
She rolls eyes, right?
she's like, yeah, okay. But the thing is, because I'm a heart patient, it's not good for me. It's so full of the bad stuff that's in
Cholesterol.
it. Cholesterol and all that stuff. So you can't have that.
All the
But
good stuff.
all the good stuff is like because it's made with like the stomach and the
Yes.
lungs and the liver and everything.
Look,
Yeah.
I said, you know, when you said the body parts, you know,
Yeah.
body parts, animal body parts. Right?
I'm thinking, where's this going?
Look, got 56 hours, man.
Look,
You got a lot of time.
Look, you know, when I was born in, like, I was so poor, man, that even I was walking next to the bank, I would freaking trigger alarm. That's how poor we were. And I was like, my mom, like, you know, and my dad, you know, the typical socialist communist product. My father was the biggest communist product. I mean, he believed in tomorrow, better tomorrow. But secretly, he wanted, you know, independent Croatia because, you know, we were in clutches of communism. You know, we forced it to the brotherhood and unity, whatever it is. Anyway, and every November we have the Day of Republic. 29th of November, it's a Republic Day. Day of
Oh,
Republic. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how the communists decided. It's like, okay, when the Second World War finish, we're gonna kill everybody who we don't like, and this is official
Oh,
day
the official
of the
day.
baguette. And what we'll do, you know, people on that day, because it's very cold, 15, 20 degrees below. You know, you feed
nice.
the pigs, you know what I mean, all year. My mom's sister, she lived in a village. That was considered we were rich because her sister lives in a village. We were rich, you know. My God.
Really?
Anyway, so they come 3 o'clock in the morning.
Mm.
You know, we catch the public transport. There was no cars in communism, and we start killing pigs about 4 o'clock in the morning, right? And then all day the body parts, you take it, you know, make the ham, make the prosciutto, take the sausages, take it this, take it that. And as a kid, you need to do all these shitty jobs, washing the intestines, because they're using intestines to fill the sausages.
Yeah.
And I said, God, I can't do this. And you come home, the job is not over. Now it's come to deep freezer. I need to fill deep freezer with marking things, on every part. And then my mom, she's come Christmas, like, oh, I have only brain and tongue left. I was like, oh man, I can't eat this. You can't eat this here because all stews and that body parts. And then in Australia, you walk in restaurant, and it's like,
It's a delicacy.
made the first side, blast. The guy's like, oh, did you have the bone marrow? Did you sign? Like,
Yeah.
oh, that was a $500. Like,
Oh my gosh.
because it is, it's considered because it is what the skin, here they call the cracklings.
Yeah.
We do it in the day. They put in a big metal pot and you steering this
Yeah.
for hours as a kid, and becomes like as well the cracklings with a little fat, and then you have that fatty things with the more fat food, and that's a winter. And people say, how nice is crackling? I'm like,
Well, it depends. I mean, look, don't talk to me about crackling, man. I don't feel like so.
Yeah,
we love, we
just
think-
like,
that's the thing.
I want to hear from Jai. Jai,
Yes, thanks.
is it good you go?
Yeah, I guess with the
Bush tucker. Tell us about that bush
see,
tucker.
the bush tucker stuff is probably, for me personally, I was born and raised in Lalla Park, Blacktown. So,
Yeah.
so I'm a Lalla Park boy, born and bred. So for me growing up, and we never had
His
lots of
tackle
money.
was fish and chips, man.
well, that was we had
That's a good takeaway.
we had the amazing Greek old takeaway shops.
That's
The
all.
Yeah.
best. They
That's
were the
the one.
best. They were the best takeaway
Yeah.
shops. I was born and raised in them.
Great
But-
scallops.
But also, we never had a lot of money growing up too. See, so I was born and raised on 2-minute noodles and Vegemite toast as well. So we never had a lot of money growing up. But in terms of food, I'll probably share a bit of a funny story with you about food, because I am a bit of a man of the universe too, and having Filipino neighbours and going to my Tongan my brothers and sisters' house and they're having hungies and cooking all the stuff, and it's just really been part of all that
Yes.
cultural diversity and exchange. But I remember doing a show at City Olympic Park one time, and I had to actually I actually had to in the show I had to eat some smoked kangaroo, and it was
smoked kangaroo.
and it was kind of, and we had like
That's tough, wasn't it? It was really tough.
it was really tough.
Yeah.
But
How
on
did
the,
they-
in the show,
how did
in
they
the
smoke
show,
it?
I really loved it, right?
Yeah.
But when I went backstage, oh my gosh, it was like kangaroo. It was like smoke. It was a style of kangaroo that was just not done really well.
Yeah.
So I guess there's kind of, then we've got kangaroo tails, and this is a bit of a delicacy. See, that some of the old people would get the kangaroo tail, but then get the special part of kangaroo.
Don't they do like slow cooked kangaroo over like?
Yeah, I had that. I had that in Broken
It's a little bit, yeah. Whenever I drive through Blacktown, I have a smell that I gravitate to, and it's Eljana.
No.
yeah.
Well,
And let me tell you why.
Exactly.
Let me tell you why.
The chicken place.
Taco chicken.
oh,
The charcoal chicken. But let me tell you why I gravitate there, because they cook the old way. See?
yeah, they all. Yeah.
And culturally, that's our way. Cooking straight on the
Yeah.
coals and having that relationship with the fire. See, and the smell is just you can smell the love. I can smell the love in it. And I remember when it first opened here, it really gave me that connection back to have something in Blacktown like that, and to have a black fella like me love that now, and the garlic sauce. Oh my gosh! It
Yeah.
Mario, I'm a man of the universe.
listen,
But you know what's funny is this is how we all sort of get together in the cultures is food. Food is pretty much the equalizer of people. If you just try it once, you might love it. I mean, in the Philippines we have things called the boodle fight where all the food's there.
listen.
In
I
your
was
table.
I was in the Philippines last year. I go for work there, and I went in Manila. Go hotel. Driver comes for me. I've never been in Philippines, right? I know what to expect in Philippines, but I do expect Captain Cook exotic, girls dancing. No, that's a Hawaii. Anyway, so like we're driving from airport. That's like, why these two traffic lights? Right, that's the number one.
The lines in Manila are more like just suggestions.
Yeah.
Yeah, like and
Any
then
And-
Thailand, Cambodia, exactly.
They're all the same.
Yeah.
And then suddenly I have two big vans. It says swatting. I said, what is doing? It's like, Mr. Biggs, you come early. It's like I'm just surrender. I was come there for the other thing with the police. A couple other days, exotic islands, to train me something. So I come in Philippines and I try to enjoy the the food. I said, give me some authentic food. And You don't find this authentic food in hotels. They need to dig you, drive you, and put you in some of these suburbs, right? And I sit there and first I try to understand the culture of Philippines. Everybody's happy, everybody's smiling.
Yeah.
But there's every security guards with the machine guns,
Really?
shotguns, yeah. And I said, is this police security, right? And the cabbie tried to explain to me what's the Philippines, right? But then I sit in some restaurant and that food, Philippine food, everything is sweet.
Yes.
And I was deciding wrong time to go and diet, man.
Sweet or salty, either one.
Sorry, Lanka.
Is sweet or salty, like either one.
Yeah, there's one. It's
Yeah,
one
it's one or the
extreme to
other.
another. It's
Or
like
both.
our spaghetti, sweet.
Yeah,
And
sweet.
nobody's
Really?
fat over
Yeah.
there. Nobody's fat.
Well, even Blacktown now has come that way. Like there's so many Philippines, amazing
I
Philippines.
know.
It is, yeah.
There's great shops there, and every time I go, even past the station on Main Street, it's like, oh, I can't do it.
Pinoy
I've got to
Station.
stop in there and
Yeah.
get something, either if it's just a quick,
So that
like something in the bakery, or just a quick food. So
I love it. I really do love it. Right? I love the fact that our world now, we're becoming more confident and confident now.
Yeah.
We're living with each other now. It's almost not cool to have a war now.
no, it's not.
No. It's almost not cool to be doing even culturally. We talk about we've got like 250 different nations here and 900 dialects. So we had so much multiculturalism here amongst our own people.
That's
so
correct. Yeah,
today you might call us all Aboriginal, right? For example.
but there was different countries.
Well,
Literally.
even Aboriginal is not a
Yeah.
nationality; it's a terminology
Yeah.
that was given to us.
See, that's
because-
interesting. That's an interesting point, because everyone would actually classify you as an actual, let's say, the Aboriginal race, but it's not necessarily.
It's not a race. There's no such thing.
There's
as
no
the
such thing.
Aboriginal.
Yeah.
So I'm Dadak, Wadriyu, and Kuman Yepa. They're my 5 nations that I belong to from all my great grandparents
Yeah.
and grandparents.
Yeah.
That's how I get here. And then I also have my English and Irish and German side too,
Yeah.
which is from my grandmother now that I look after. She's in a nursing home, and she's my only kind of mother, father, nan and pop figure that I have left out of my family.
Yeah.
Which is I'm so grateful to still have her with me. But it's at a stage now where I just really think that our generations, we can really freaking build this kind of country that we want to live in today.
That's right. And
Meaning there is a bit of stuff that we need to clean up still. I understand that.
Oh, look, there's still
And there's still a lot of healing, especially for my people.
Yes.
Especially for my people who, there's a lot of stuff that's been that's happened, but no one's been accountable for. And today are people responsible for that? Well, probably not. But if we don't have this understanding, we don't have some of the conversations, like Mario didn't know about some of the stuff that I've shared with him in just our personal yarns about what's happened here, then some of that stuff stays recorded here. It's like energy, it's recorded here.
It is.
It's recorded in the land, it's recorded in the air we breathe, it's recorded in the water, and it's recorded in the people. But when we come together at times like this, when I go to Blacktown and there's food markets, and there's 50 trucks there, and they're from all around the world. That's the kind of country I want to live in. I want to sit down with people from around the world.
Yeah.
There's only one group of people that I'm very racist to, and I'm going to be open and honestly with you with this, and that's evil people.
Yes.
Evil people.
Yes.
Can I, before I just continue?
And I'm growing stronger and still learning to love them too. I'm getting better at that.
Yeah.
But bad intentions weren't welcomed in our old camp, see? You had to state your intention. Why are you here today? What brings you to the campfire today? And if you waited on the boundary, and you cooey, that's where the word cooey comes from. Cooey! That's where cooey comes from, yeah.
Oh, excellent.
So then the mob at the camp would then cooey back and call you in. When you stop there, shows your intention. It's
Man,
good.
I better stick with you. Otherwise, if I'm lost in the bush, I'm gonna be eaten by somebody else. And I was like, this is the cow. There's some. But look, that jokes on side. But I want to say this at the beginning. So I want to know that every listener understand this very clearly. From the moment we started 11 a.m. This morning, this broadcasting, every word coming into these mics, and we're going to record this. We need to give to the people in the Guinness, but I'm going to convert into the transcript. So it's going to be a lot of words.
Is that another book, Mario?
Yes, correct. That's correct. And
Oh,
that's
yes,
a book.
that's
And this
true.
book is going to be the Champions of Our Life.
Wow.
I come still working on. I don't need ChatGPT to come with the title, but
Yes, yes.
I'm going to convert this into the ebook. So
Nice.
what I'm going to say is people who are part of this station, people who contributed, who's going to come as a guest today as well, they're all going to be the part of this book. So I'm going to separate them in by chapters, and I'm going to find. I spoke last time with my publisher. She says that's insane. It's going to be like at least 2 million words.
So it's everything that's word that I say on radio now is going to be in that book.
Yes.
Okay, if you look
Except
for
your
a
one-
meaningful overnight
Oh
relationship,
my goodness, I knew you'd say this.
I know, guys.
I've spent too much time with Ainsley to know.
This is not the perfect match. This is not,
You don't get what you don't ask for, right? You don't sit down in a restaurant, they bring you what you're thinking.
Man.
You got to order what you want, man.
Oh.
You go, Ainsley.
We'll come to this. Anyway,
fine.
I have it tomorrow 11 a.m. to 3 a.m. We're going to come to that one. So whoever want to listen about your
Actually,
stuff, it's like,
we can have a love corner for you.
Yeah, love corner.
Love corner.
52 hours we need to get this world record done, and
That's
Ainsley.
Who that says like
Mario.
Ainsley married up.
Sorry. So I must have a confession to make. I was actually in Facebook jail for the first time
what is happening in jail? First,
over Christmas. Have you ever been in Facebook jail?
he was banned from
Well, apparently, I've abused community like standard
Guidelines,
policies.
yeah.
How did you abuse that?
On Christmas, I decided to dress up a bit.
Oh my god.
Sorry,
My
I don't
story,
understand.
I dressed up.
He dressed up.
So I
Just keep going. Just
okay,
keep
so
going.
I
with this.
dressed up and I had like a Santa Claus hat on
Yes.
and a little jingle bells and Santa Claus down there. That's it. And then I put
So
up
you
the
dressed
story.
down, basically.
Maybe I dressed down. Like I was like half. Well, I would say half, probably
Ainsley,
90%.
I've known you a little while. I'm starting to learn more about you.
Just listen.
Wait.
There's things that I don't know about you.
And I was feeling rather lonely over Christmas. And
You were
I
feeling
decided
lonely. Okay.
if you don't put yourself out there, this is one of the lessons
Yes.
of learning in life. You don't get what you want.
Okay.
I've been putting myself out so much and it's not quite working, but I'm getting there. I'm trying different tactics now.
Okay.
So anyway, so I put up this post on there and I decided to have like little quotes.
Quotes.
So my one quote was wanted a meaningful overnight relationship. And then I put the top Christmas song
Yes.
by Mariah Carey, All I Want for Christmas Is You.
Okay.
As a story.
Yeah.
Okay, so I got away with that. The next day, I decided I need to spice it up a bit. So I put out a different
I know where this is going, but like,
Have you got a button you can press a siren? This is the-
I picked it from Guinness World Records, and I was like, "Oh my God, tune everybody!"
Well, anyway, I put on there,
Yeah.
I put the STD instead.
STD.
But all I need is you. Don't
Oh
you get
my
it?
God, I get it
Hang
now. Like, yeah.
I don't get. Say it again.
I put the STD
Yes.
instead.
Ah, got you.
All I need is you.
I love how Mario's promoting his books, but Ainsley's promoting himself.
Okay.
All the ladies, it's the
Hey,
demographic.
opportunity.
No, that's
Yeah,
it.
that's
He's
right.
trying-
The moment I say Jai is right, as soon as I say, ladies and gentlemen, give me up to 60 days, it's gonna be completed that book. I mean, I think gonna separate in 2-3 parts, so you can enjoy this one, and plus you can become the member live or listen to the beautiful music of Jai and his what's it called, cultural upbringing. Understanding or that you can come to the Ainsley show because I don't know, Karenza, how do you live with this thing? Seriously.
Hang on.
Is your conscience clear or something?
I just kind of drone him out a little bit, here and there. No, Ainsley's a lot of fun. I think it's, there's lots of mics on there. Whose mic am I going to use?
Everyone's putting like, like, just at the camera.
I almost said something
He's
wrong.
like, all I was thinking was that. I was like, Jesus Christ, get all your mics out.
keep your mics to yourself.
Keep it good. I get it. No, Ainsley's wonderful to work with. And I just wanted
Lorenzo, did I ask you how you feeling today?
I'm feeling fantastic.
You asked me
How are you feeling today?
How do you feel today? What do you mean?
Mario, just show her. How do you feel today, Mario?
Awesome.
I don't know. I want to get again STD.
No,
Okay, so
come on.
listen.
I want to hear, by the end of the day, every hour, I'm going to ask that question. When I'm here,
Why?
how are you feeling?
Positive.
I want to hear, I feel good.
Oh, shit.
Oh, I feel so
Yes,
good.
that's
Ugh. Come on.
Roy, I mean, we need to work on
need to work on this one.
on recruitment.
I actually think we might have lost our well, I'll call it tracker, see?
Yes, tracker, yeah.
Tracker. That would be someone who was very skilled on the country that could lead you to where you want to go.
It's going to be.
I think right now where this conversation is going, we've lost our nav man.
Oh, who knows?
Nav
Who
man.
knows?
You know maps. You know the maps on
Yeah.
your iPhone.
Yes.
Yeah, we've lost our direction. Where
listen,
now you
that's
go.
right.
I explained my son the other day. So when I came to Australia, there was something called the UBD.
Yes.
So what is this? So like it was like analog satellite navigation. So what do you mean analog? I was like, I was
Did you
driving
get a book?
on the lights. Like, pages.
Oh my gosh.
Do you remember this?
Yes, I remember the pages.
So like, man, God, first when I come to Australia, I need to drive on the wrong side of the
The
road.
road.
That was the first.
You mean it's the correct side of the road?
No, that's incorrect. It's only
No, it's the correct side of the
Okay.
road, mate. Trust me.
If you say so, okay. And then like, how are we gonna find in this city? And I mean, all these places. And
Yeah.
they told me just buy UBD. So my ambassador says to me, "Listen, Mario, I know it's not your job to drive me, but you know I have the confidence in you. I think myself, dude, I'm here because of you." Because he didn't know I'm being sent because of his wrongdoings, right? I said, like, "No problem, boss. I buy the UBD." I said, "What is this book? And what am I gonna do this?" From page, I don't know, 65, going to page 265, right?
Yeah.
How are we gonna do this while driving?
Yeah, how
You know,
dangerous.
it's a lost art, you know that.
Yeah,
I
like,
kid you not, yeah. When
It's
I
a
was
lot
a little kid, I used to like sit in the passenger seat and like hold up the book for my dad, and he'd be like, "Okay, we're going this direction. All right, let's go."
it's
and
a
I'd be
lost
like, "I'll just
art.
hold it."
It's
Yeah,
a
but-
lost art.
It was a
It
very, it was a
was-
trade. It was a trade. There
but
was
you need to,
people
but
who-
you need to turn the what's the calling the UBD.
No.
Opposite. Yes.
No,
it
you
does.
don't need to. If you're at the high level, you actually leave it as is.
I wasn't at that level.
I was
Mario, I'm with you, Mario. I'm doing this.
You're gonna
I'm
be
trying
able
to
to look
go.
at my dad, and then you'll
you get the hang of it. You just sit there on
Yeah.
the
I
thing
think,
and be like,
but you know
yep.
what's very
If
quiet?
I'm driving on this road, and the road's on the book going that way,
Yeah.
You're turning the
I have
book.
no idea. I'm turning like a steering wheel.
But you know who's very quiet in this conversation about driving in Australia? The only one man.
Yeah.
And I don't know why.
I want
wonder
to talk
why.
about driving in Australia because I just got my license back.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
so
so-
you're not in STD jail.
No.
Yes,
Thanks,
yes,
Michelle.
yes.
I'm taking that back. So,
No.
no STD. It wasn't.
No. I had, for the first time in my life, having been in Australia, how long have I been in Australia? It was 2006 minus 30, 17 years now. I actually lost my license.
Okay.
And that's because
How many times did you lose license?
I blame it on my daughter.
Okay. Why
Because
daughter?
It was raining.
She's 16 years old. How can you blame your daughter?
She said her hair's going to get wet and she didn't want to walk to the bus stop.
Yeah, there you go. There it is.
So, wait, and then the bus stop began, Dad, I missed the bus. Can you please drive me to school?
Yes.
So on the Monday, I drive to school. She said, Dad, don't drop me there. I need to be right in front of the school.
Yes.
Because my hair's going to get wet. And my makeup's going to run.
Mm.
And I'm like an idiot. I thought, you know what, let's just go and there's a bus stop. And I quickly dropped there. And other people, parents were doing it as well. And literally for 30 seconds, she jumped out the car and I drove off again. And I didn't know that. Like the next day, rained again, she pulled the same card on me. Third day, rained again. Wednesday, did it again. Thursday again. 3 weeks later, whoops, in the mail, I get a letter and it says, you have lost 3 demerit points and $429.
Oh my gosh.
And you know what happened, Mario?
What? You blame your daughter?
The next day, another letter came. And I realized, oh shit, I did this 4 days in a row. I'm in trouble.
Yeah.
So I exceeded my points.
Yes.
And I had a choice of 1 point or 2 point good behavior bond.
Yeah.
Probation,
Yeah, something like that.
probation,
Yeah.
Or just take a 3 months no car.
Suspension.
So I did a 3 months, but you know what happened in that 3 months? I actually saved money.
Yeah, because he had a driver.
Because
Who was driving? Karenza?
I did have a driver, people driving me as well. But more so, I learned about online stuff. So I did online shopping.
Online shopping.
Yeah.
How did you save money online
Like
shopping?
Woolies. Do you know what I learned?
Oh.
If you actually set up an online account
Yeah.
and you just order what you actually need and not
Yeah.
go into the shop, you
Yeah.
save money.
You do.
You don't
Really?
buy all
You
the
do.
crap because you walk
Because
past and you see
remember-
all the specials and you just shove stuff in your trolley.
Just remember, when you go into like
And I
grocery
lost
shopping,
weight.
Yeah.
you actually
I don't get it that one. Seriously. How you can save money
Well,
online,
you
man?
think about it, right? You go through a grocery shop,
Yeah.
and sometimes you'll see, oh, that's it. So there's a lot of impulse buying thing happening.
That's correct. Eh?
So what you do is, if you are shopping online, all you're doing is, okay, I need this, 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 and this, and that's all you get. Because there's no time to go shopping
Exactly.
for anything else. You're not looking at, nothing's enticing you. It's like, oh, that looks nice. That's a nice looking cheese, or that's a nice looking whatever. You know, and it's,
Yeah, even for me too. When even for me, right?
Yes.
This is I've been getting counselling for this one, really.
Counseling.
Yeah,
Are you for real?
yeah, because they never used to have this. Like I'm a bit of a snob, right?
Okay.
For Woolworths, I don't like Coles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
So
you're
any
Woolworths.
Woolworths listeners out there, yeah.
Because they have the
I-
bunch.
I-
Giant 10
that
elements.
list,
I'm pulling out of Mario right now.
Let's
Bit of a
plug it
promo.
in. You get a promo.
I just love I just love what they're doing. For example, I've been getting counselling. I'm joking, in the sense that they now cook hot and spicy chicken wings in there.
Yeah, you do.
Okay, so may I ask you one question? They said Chuck is spice and what's it called? The
Spicy.
Spicy chicken.
Spicy
wings.
chicken.
And you know, you said something before that. People do this impulsive buying, right?
Yeah.
And you say now they're making that chicken.
I go there with a list to buy things, and I'm standing there eating chicken wings, like I'm at a restaurant.
You and I do the same thing because I'll be like, that's all right, let's try this.
Yeah.
And then I'll be, it's in my trolley and I'm walking around.
Just eating stuff, like that's great. Like so for me, so that's awesome. And you know what else I do, Ainsley, with the when you do the online shopping, you can actually order it, and when you have your car, if you wanted to keep saving the money, right? What you do is do your online order, and then you can just reverse. They have a little section where you reverse your freaking car there, and you don't even need to get out your car. It's paid for, and they just throw your stuff in the back of your car.
Yeah, so it's
called click and collect.
Click and collect.
It's like
I parked the car and I'm called click and collect, but I never get nothing there.
No, that's
No, you have to order first.
that's because you're speaking to the wrong people.
You have to order first.
I'll connect you with the right people.
You have to order first. Yeah, that's
Then people might get you locked up, Mario. Stay away from them people. I told you.
It's not for commercial. Like I'll just say, like guys, everybody can join us on my channel, YouTube, Mario Beckes. Feel free to come. Say hello to Karenza, Jay, Ainsley, and Roy, and other guests as well. So YouTube channel, Mario Beckes. Feel free to subscribe, leave the comments, whatever it is. We are live as well. Tune in, radio station Alive 90.5 FM. Go on our website, alive905.com.au. Click link on air and become the member. Thank you for supporting radio station.
And
now,
you know what we want as well? Text into the studio. Tell us you're out there.
Actually,
text
yes.
in at
You can
04
text
800 28100. That's 04.
the last time I heard that number was 1-800.
No, man.
No.
Till at the borders.
It's up there.
Okay.
We got
It's up there.
Okay, yes, guys, yeah, you can come. Facebook
Oh,
Live.
actually.
Okay, sorry.
04 800 28100. That's 04 800 28100 100. Send us some love, and we might, and Maureen might give
And you know
a
what?
shout
If you want to call as well, it's 9686388, and you can actually call us and talk to us at the same time. And be on
Let's
air.
do that. Let's do that. Let's get some calls in, because we have almost a quarter of the whole world sitting at this table, from the north, the south, the east, the west of this amazing
we
planet
got
Earth.
it.
So we could actually answer some amazing questions also about how good the chicken wings are. Any Woolworths CEOs out there, please just
Please sponsor Jai.
Sponsor us, yes. If there's any Filipino shops.
My station, you're listening.
Hey, good point. If you're listening, send some Jolly VPO, or we have, for lunch. That's what we'll be happy. So, speaking of chicken wings, Filipinos make a great chicken wings. So if you want to try it, just do that.
What was that thing you
Mario,
showed me?
I just thought I'd let you
Yeah,
know
just
you
like
have-
here, just try to
What is
what's
it
it called?
called?
Put the
Dinuguan.
camera.
Dinuguan. So
Dinuguan. So basically, dinuguan is made with entirely of pig. All right, so pig's blood.
Oh, God.
And
really
it's just-
delicious.
and
Is this
it's-
Filipino?
yeah,
Yeah.
don't knock it till
Another
you try it.
piece of food, man.
You
Tell me
guys
about
are
it.
Yeah, try
enjoying
it.
your food. I'm
No,
not. I
I'm
was
serious.
going to date the Filipino and I changed my mind.
No. She will make you dinuguan, and you're
Yeah,
gonna
she
love
tried.
it.
No, how do you know it was she? Well, not how do you know it might have been she?
Hey, it could be.
Might have been
Could
he.
be.
Could be anyone.
Yeah,
Could
he
be
might have
anyone.
been.
Ainsley's open.
Ainsley doesn't matter.
We've also got a great guest coming in very shortly, the Honourable Wendy Lindsay of Parliament from the Liberal Party, and she's
Ah.
joining us soon, so we have to get our best behaviour, guys.
Oh no.
Well, there goes.
Unfortunately, I'll be leaving you guys because I have to go to work. Teach children.
You know what we didn't say to everybody? Special K, what have you achieved last year?
Special
What
K.
is-
Hey,
what
hey,
for you?
Karenza, before you leave, let's go talk about you.
Oh, okay.
Let's go introduce, ladies and gentlemen. That's Karenza De Leon. She's kicking the many butts in her posts. Like, look, she's always Lindsay in the mode. Like, she's always like a lady. Like, look at me, with the style and class and everything else. The next post is like, the bandages on the hands and full of blood and like,
Booyah.
booyah.
People out.
She's like,
Yeah.
I'm just a peaceful girl. It's
But
like,
then next year, I then see her on a skateboard doing things that I couldn't even freaking do.
who's that there? You did skateboard as well?
Yeah.
Okay, can someone explain to me that skateboard thing? Because I tried and I can't understand how is it possible that people can stand on this and then jump together with skateboard, and then skateboard
It's called
material.
practice, Mario.
It's called okay.
It's called balance and practice.
Special
That's
K,
momentum.
when I seen Special K this morning, I said to her straight away, I haven't seen her for a long time since we were probably here, but I see her all the time on Facebook and her socials, and I said, you keep that energy going, man. Our world needs more beautiful spirits like you, sister. And you keep sharing that love, man. It's great to share that positive energy, and doing all those things, looking beautiful, being talented, being a volunteer, doing kung fu, knocking people the hell out, doing kickboxing, riding skateboards. How are you, sister girl?
I'm good, thank you. I feel good.
Where's
Where's
Ainsley?
Where-
Ainsley's just
come on.
stepped out.
Actually,
I
yes.
feel
Ainsley,
good.
let's
Dun,
go.
dun, dun.
Ainsley,
Man,
we've now completed.
start singing. You need to do. How are you feeling?
I feel good. Dun, dun, dun.
No.
Okay, what is it then?
No, no, sing. You need to go. Hands up like this.
Okay.
And you go. I feel good. Oh, I feel so good. Ugh.
Can I get a big announcement now, guys? Okay. Another 55 hours there.
Yeah.
One last
We hit the 55 hours.
Yeah.
Go, Mark.
Guys, I just say again, thank you very much. I'm walking a little bit around the studio, so thank you guys for talking because I try to adjust the cameras for the everything happening. So everybody on YouTube, thank you for all you guys connecting. You can see from behind, the Jai, Special K, and Ainsley, and from this side you can see me again, Roy, and who's that? That's Ainsley.
Is that
Ainsley's in all of them.
I don't know. I might be wrong here, but it's like Ainsley. Obviously, Ainsley sort of is the tribal leader here. He sort of
Big
is
chief.
volunteered. He's a bit of the
Okay,
chief.
can I make another announcement?
Yeah.
Okay, so
Let me just jump in. I'll
Okay.
get back to that one later.
1 hour
I
past
think-
it.
hang on,
3
Mario,
minutes.
Mario.
Sorry,
Yeah.
55 hours sounds small. Let's say you got 3,300 minutes left to talk.
3,003. What?
100 minutes.
Did you really counted this?
Yes, I did.
Okay, so
On my
we
calculator.
know. Okay, so now
You
this
just
is
Googled
the
that,
point
you know.
I want to go into depth by Monday afternoon. I want to because Monday afternoon I have something special connection happening via people in Tesla. So
Yeah.
back in in the space center over there because I have an announcement for my next world record, right?
Yeah.
Which includes the free fall from the balloon. Anyway,
You're going to
so-
watch? You're gonna
Yeah,
jump out
don't
of the
say it. You should have said. Don't say
No,
it.
it's another.
Just
I have a
It's
tool.
all about now. It's about now.
Sorry.
It's all about now.
Yeah,
It's all about the magic of now. This
Yeah.
is world record.
But
It's
this
going to be amazing.
but this is the people who's going to be because next one it's a February. I'm going with my coach,
This is
Rodney
big-
Williams.
big news.
Yes, Rodney Williams is coming, and it's going to be. I'm going to fight in Las Vegas for the world title in master boxing. So
Wow.
yeah, it's going to be all professional, everything else, but no question asked. We're going to destroy everybody.
I've seen you doing a bit of that online too.
Yeah,
actually,
like
on
I'm
your
losing
socials.
weight and all these things. It's difficult because the UI, gravity,
it's
not just
amazing.
Anyway, so Monday afternoon we're gonna have this big announcement. It's gonna be direct connection to some TVs and everything else. So I'm still waiting for the people come to me. And that's gonna happen. So we're gonna have some special announcements on Monday, and I want to say this to everybody understand that there's gonna be a book, guys. So I want to say thank you, Karenza, Special K, Jay Pittman, Roy Padlan, and Enzi who are today with me. I'm walking around the studio, guys. So don't think that I'm just taking the just easy walk around. It is not. Enzi said, 3,000 minutes, right?
And how many cameras you got? You got a few cameras set up.
Yeah. So it's 2 cameras now covering the entire studio. So it's like even if I go for the break for 5
And how many
minutes,
technical people are on your cameras? Just you.
just me. That's right. So like everything set up by using the Mivo cameras, Logitech, and they're great. They're great towards me. Some other equipment is happening there as well. It's going to happen for this radio station after finishing this competition. So I want to make sure that everybody understands that this radio station deserves everybody help, and without you guys, I'm going to repeat this one. So 5 minutes past 12. So we are in my 54th hour of competition. So by Monday afternoon, 4 p.m. I will 4 p.m. and 1 minute.
401.
401, hoping that
Yeah.
you're going to be here because I want to take a picture with you guys with the Guinness people. And I said, come here because I want to announce that all records been smashed, and I had another 2 hours to go. 56th hour, I would like to see UJ to come, and take it because I said by 6 p.m. I'm going to finish. but between 5 and 6 p.m.
We'll party.
We'll party.
So hang on. So what's the time frames again? Hit me again.
So 53 hours and 1 minute is going to be on Monday, 1st of May, 4:01.
4:01.
4:01.
So anything after that is
4
party
p.m.
time.
a.m.
4 p.m.
PM.
PM?
You know what I mean? So this is the records we need to announce. I need to announce continuously on our audio. I need to announce continuously on our video
Yep.
because people from the Guinness, they're watching, they're listening right now. I know this because I'm getting all these messages.
Yeah.
Everything is like good. And then we have 3 people coming, 2 people from Australia Guinness coming on Monday. So you need to entertain them. I can't.
I want to
I'll
ask
be-
you. I want to ask you. What are you going to do? How do you like? Today is Friday. Saturday.
Saturday.
So today's Saturday, right?
Mhm.
And you're talking about Monday, right?
That's right. Yes.
So, you're, like,
so
this-
I-
like,
during
how
this-
are you? What are you going to do? What are you going to do? How are you going to maintain Mario? What's your like?
Oh, that's look. It doesn't matter what I say. I have no idea what future's gonna bring. I always come back to this thing. What I learned in military. If I have a timetable. So timetable it's 5 p.m. on Monday afternoon, right? I need to reach that goal.
Yeah.
That is my key objective.
This is your training, huh? You've
That's
been
what-
training this
yeah.
mentality.
So like, yeah, well, look, in the army, people say the planning in the army, this and that. Oh, that doesn't work. It's good on the paper.
Yeah.
But once when you start rolling, that entire plans go down. So you have that secondary strategic thinking on the developing the mission. It's timetable.
Yeah.
I know that I need to reach 5 p.m. on Monday. How am I gonna reach? Are you gonna step in my face? Glenn's gonna bring the coffee. Roy's gonna execute me, electrocute me. I don't know, but I need to be here.
What about food? Have you got food? Have you got a food plan?
Food has been planned. Like I have like you said, take Dr. Liz, take Dr. Miranda for all your big things. It's a liquid. Because if
liquid, okay.
Yeah, so like have something during the night, but if I start doing these things,
Yeah, because you'll find that sometimes when you have like really solid foods,
Yeah.
you'll find that your body will start to take on that
Yes.
the energy from there.
Yeah.
So with liquid foods, and especially what Mario's been discussing, he's got to get to that stage where that's what his nourishment, and that's where it's going to come from. So
like not the coffees and everything. It's like everything opposite. Let's just say chocolates. Like I say,
Yeah.
I spoke to Dr. Liz, Dr. Miranda, and they told me both same thing. So she says to me, if you have some sweets, the sugar's gonna go up. You're gonna be rock and roll.
then it's going to crash.
And they say when that crash is gonna bring even that little energy down, and then you're gonna feel. Sleeping wise, as I say, like I'm gonna say this publicly. I can close my eyes for half an hour as long as somebody blew on the radio.
Yeah.
And hence why I have this list approved by the Guinness, with you guys they are, so they can talk like that. I can't go now and be talk from from recorded, pre-recorded the music. It doesn't want to take. They're listening. If somebody talks instead of me, that's fine. But I can't go home. I can't have a shower. I can't many things do it. I must be here, present. The witnesses must see me and say, he is here next to us, 3 meters away. That's what it is.
As you said earlier, it's one of those things that he's got the support, and that's where we've come in, and that's where
You've been big on that too, Roy. I've seen that. 90.5. You've got his back too, brother. That's been amazing.
That's a sell. Like when I spoke to Roy first time, he offered all these ADHD bags. So not
Oh my gosh.
Well, I'm going to join then. I'm in.
You
I'm
know
gonna
what?
join.
Look,
You know what? The HDD there is a bit ADHD. So.
Yeah, I was gonna say ADHD.
Hey, look, I do I know like I'm gonna share now. I'm gonna record this and say why I want a book. I want people to understand what takes this. Not just me, but everybody else. It's not just about Mario Beckers. As I said, like on Monday, that's I say like I want all of you guys come here, take the picture. I really want you to take a part of this. Certificate is nothing. If you don't reach that objective, then can give me a certificate. Like I can sit at home and say, guys, you talk for 56 hours, everybody $100, right? I sit at home on Monday, pick up my certificate. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way because again, it's your time and everybody's time. And that I want to share with the people in the future to understand that this radio station make this happen. People who make this radio station make this happen.
And did it have to be with a radio station like?
Absolutely.
There was certain obviously technical things that we needed. So when we Mario and I talked about things like obviously doing from his podcast rooms and all that stuff, which you've seen.
Yeah.
Logistically, it would have worked. The technology was probably the other issue that we had. So that's why I spoke with the board and that kind of thing. We went, how about we just use the technical aspects that we have here.
Yep.
We can control everything from here.
Yep.
And if anything does go down technically, we
Yep.
can go bang straight into a comms room and then fix everything.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
that
yeah.
way, everything will go smoothly. Because otherwise, if we're going to be trying to, if we're in another location, in especially this location would have been in Bella Vista,
Yep.
I'd have to come back here, figure out what's going on, then come back again, and then it just wastes time. So at least if we do run in, cross fingers we don't, we've been making sure that we've been trying to do this for the last week or so.
Well, one thing that did stand out for me when you said you can control everything in this studio, there's one thing we don't control. I think his name's Ainsley. It's our general manager.
You can never control it easily.
Come on, guys.
It's like trying to hold a wave.
Let's pick on Ainsley Day again.
No, it's with
No, it's
love.
not.
It's with love,
You're
Ainsley.
going to see a very different Ainsley, by the way. I'm a Gemini.
Oh, yeah, two-faced, we go.
I'm like, I was crazy Ainsley. I'm a be well-behaved Ainsley. Because I've got a very, very distinguished guest coming in now.
Yes.
And, we'll be a lovely
She'll be
schedule.
taking my spot. I would like to say goodbye to everyone. I'll be here maybe in the evening. Are you going to be here in the evening?
Roy will be here this evening.
Are you staying, Roy, the whole time?
I'll be here probably till about 2 a.m.
2 a.m. and then you're going
Look,
home.
I spoke with Ainsley.
Well, we'll
and
see.
I have the
We'll see.
I have the one spot empty, which Lindsay, because I need to have the witnesses every 4 hours, and I said we make it majority list. Some people drop down, so like, thank you, Roy, for coming tomorrow morning again, 3 a.m. to 7 a.m. I need somebody from 7 a.m. to 11 a.m. to replace the Matt Cooper who's coming 3 o'clock in the morning. So that's a one spot, and then is Ezra's coming tomorrow with Liam's kids.
Oh.
Oh, you're coming tomorrow.
Yes.
So it's gonna be
Is
good.
that a bit of a shout out too for anyone out there who wants to
Yeah,
come
yeah.
over to have a
Yes,
photo?
it is, it
Yeah,
is.
you're
And
right.
they are not allowed to be under any influence, is that right? Because we're doing a weekend. This is a weekend show, so no
Okay.
drinking alcohol.
Well-
Is that another thing?
I don't understand
Well-
what drugs are talking about. There's no drugs in
No,
there.
no. I just want to say, Mario, Liam's kids does a show called Doof Nuts.
I have no idea what that means. So,
When you listen back to it, he talks to the magic mushrooms and the fairies and the land and the trolls.
okay,
and
does he
everything.
has a too much 30 seconds dead there?
Oh,
Or?
No, he
no,
doesn't stop
he
talking.
doesn't stop talking for the whole
Okay,
2
so
hours.
could you be here so we can control him and I can talk to you? We can.
No.
You just have to bring him back into the same page. Okay?
Yeah.
Thank you. So tomorrow, my friend Ainsley
Yeah.
is going to join us 11 to 3 a.m. So people for Guinness to know, and at 3 a.m. To 7 a.m. Roy Patton is going to be here with us in studio. That being said, after Sunday morning, 3 o'clock in the morning, I know I'm going to have my moments of crisis. So guys, any suggestion how to stay happy, alive? Contact SMS 0480028110.
Oh, we'll make it easier. 04800 28100. Come on, Mario.
Yeah, sorry. Okay, already fallen asleep by then. Today's like I still play with the freaking camera. Anyway, guys, can you take it over? I just want to set up the camera again, so yes, bro. Okay.
Bye, everyone.
See you, Karenza.
See you later,
Yeah.
Special K. You have a
Special
wonderful
K.
weekend.
Special K.
Now, Ainsley, I want to say it's been an amazing journey, brother, meeting you officially and doing some stuff and coming together with some of our politicians that linked us up.
Definitely. And I want to introduce you to someone very, very important.
We've got someone in the studio here. I haven't
This
met
is the Honourable Wendy Lindsay.
Wendy Lindsay. Hello, Wendy.
How are you both?
We're very, very good. Thank you. So great to have you here with Mario's world title that he's taken on. It's just amazing. And yeah.
Yeah, good
Oh,
on
thank you, Lindsay. Sorry, I apologize. I was just setting up the camera again. I mean,
That's okay.
I'm getting messages from the people, who's watching this 24/7.
Right.
They said to me, Marty, we don't see your face. So like, okay. So like, they need to see face there and this angle. So Lindsay, apologize. So
Wendy Lindsay. Wendy Lindsay.
Yeah.
Okay. So just to give a bit of an introduction,
Yes,
Wendy
please.
Lindsay she's also done radio before, which is awesome.
Right.
And a wonderful performer as well. She's a singer. And she's also a MP.
So yes, I wear I've worn many hats. So yes.
MP for the which?
So I was the state MP for East Hills.
Okay.
So that covers the borders Bankstown, so
okay.
that area. So Condell Park, Padstow, Reevesby, Mania. A little bit out of my area out here in the hills. It's still
Okay.
in the hills, but the wrong hills. So yeah.
Many hills out here. There's 7 hills just down the road.
Well, that's it. Seven Hills,
There we go.
Morecambe Hills.
Morecambe Hills.
Yes.
Many hills.
Like
you've
that's
got
Ainsley fault. So I think look, I want to say Thank you, Lindsay, for being Lindsay.
Wendy Lindsay.
Wendy Lindsay. I
That's
do
okay.
apologize.
No, that's okay.
I do apologize. Wendy Lindsay. Wendy, thank you for being here today with us.
No, it's my pleasure.
It is not every day that somebody will come and join in a Guinness World Record, right?
Yeah.
But also, I like to say thank you, Ainsley and Jay, for you being here today, Wendy, and finding the time on this beautiful sunny day. You know,
It's not sunny now out there.
Yeah,
let me
like-
tell you,
oh,
it's rainy,
man,
rainy.
looks
It's not
like
like
that.
yesterday. Yesterday was lovely.
Oh.
So, what on earth possessed you, Mario, to undertake this world challenge? I'm very interested to know what possessed you to do that.
Look, I know that it's going to be a very unusual, but I started talking today, but the Ainsley interrupting us all the time, me, Jai, and the boy is left now, special case. I want to prove to people that impossible is possible. Life is far too short. I learned this, like when I was in war, I was 18 years old, and consider people 25, 30 years old, days that they are too old, and then I somehow down on track I realized that I need to challenge the life. Otherwise, life is not challenge us. And when life challenges us, you know what's going to happen. Outcome is you're going to lose. And by being here, Wendy, in this radio station, as an immigrant, I'm an immigrant. Regardless, I come here as a diplomat. I stay in Australia. The only thing what separates me from being successful in what I want to do, that's investigations, was my English. And on earth, I couldn't learn English the way I was being told I should speak. I can't remove the
It's a
accent.
difficult language,
Yeah.
that's for sure.
Well, not really, actually. Just need to speak slowly, because anyway, the bottom line is this: that when I started on radio station, I got opportunity to be presenter, and I was afraid, man. Just hello. And then as the time was passing by, I started venturing more out, challenging, like writing the books and writing my own show now, having my own podcast as well with the same name. So just extension, because I'm 2 hours here every week. And I think myself, I like to do something special to everybody to see that it's possible. And people in Australia always come back to this one thing. You don't know how lucky you are. This country, I said to Jay, people have no idea how lucky they are. So I want to prove that if I can do it, and I'll say this with the full rights to say, that with my English and all these obstacles, I'm today sitting in a radio station, running for the Guinness World Record with the people. I want to prove if I can do this, everybody can do this. And leave some legacy. So that's it.
Yeah, good on you. Well, look, it's good to throw your hat in the ring and do something different and challenge yourself. And certainly talking for 3 days, 56 hours or something you're aiming for. That's look, it's probably a challenge every politician dreams of, actually talking for 56 hours straight. We're quite good at talking, I guess. So, but yeah, look, it's.
Why did you
good on
become a politician? Then? Ask you if I may ask.
Well, actually, the reason I sort of ran. I had great disdain for my local council, and I wasn't happy with many things they were doing. So in 2017, I actually ran for council as an independent. I was unsuccessful, but through that exercise, I learned quite a lot. I made many mistakes. But that's always how it goes with life, right? You make mistakes, you learn from them, hopefully, and move on and do better next time. So, yeah, the incumbent member was retiring, and he reached out to me, as did the federal member as well.
Yes.
They both thought that I should have a go at running for state politics, because I came from the community. I actually managed the local community radio station in the area where I live, and I also, was involved with Bankstown Theatre Company, did a lot of work with them, and had lived in the area all my life. So swimming, dancing, kids, P&C president for my daughter's local school. So I had a lot of outreach through the community and knew a lot of people, and yeah, look, I just thought, don't die wondering, have a go, because my seat was actually the most marginal seat in New South Wales. So, to hang on, to actually win the seat was always going to be a challenge, and to hold on to it was also going to be a challenge. Unfortunately, I didn't manage to do that with the swing that we had against the government. So I was unfortunately unsuccessful in holding my seat, but with that comes new challenges and new adventures and new horizons. So we'll see what happens next. So
it's interesting what you said. I said this on record. Thank you, Wendy, for speaking, because this very moment, you said my words. You know, people think it's easy to talk, right? When I spoke to I need to see the specialist for the throat, right? He says to me, "Are you insane? Who talks 56 hours?" It's like, it's okay, the people don't join. He said, "Oh, okay." Still doesn't make a sense, right? You know this. So thank you for that. Thank you for speaking now instead of me. You know, for this moment, everybody else, and you know, thank you for the showing the courage. I think that the world should have more people like yourself to challenge the establishment in some sense.
Yeah, well, that's it. I didn't come from a normal political background, I guess. I didn't sort of come through, you know, the Young Liberals or through council. I mean, look, I tried to get onto council, but it didn't work out. But not purely for an agenda to then further up the political ladder. It just kind of happened, to be frank. Look, it's an interesting journey, I think, becoming a member of parliament. Interestingly, 80% of us somehow have some kind of connection to the party. We're generally of the same kind of ilk. There's 20% that are just political people, political animals that are just, you know, live and breathe it, and that's what they've always wanted to do. But many that are actually in Parliament, many people have definitely come through community in some way, or are passionate about something that leads them there. So yeah, so as much as we're all very different under that roof, we're more similar than most people would realise actually. So.
You know, funny is like the last couple of articles I was being interviewed by some French magazine for podcasts, the big ones, right? Anyway, and they called me the Sydney men from the Western Sydney, right? And it's like, where does this come from? And they're from French, and it's like, are we just doing research? It's like, I'm from Sydney. Said, no, you're from the West Sydney. And I'm being labelled. I was like, okay, if I'm from Western Sydney, right? Obviously, it must be some connotation to the public, you know what I mean? So,
no, West is best anyway. I'm definitely from Western Sydney, so you know, that's definitely where my heart is. I grew up there, so.
What about culturally, Grin? What's your cultural background?
Oh, I'm a bit of a bitzer. A bit of this and a bit of that.
I'm looking in those eyes. I can see there's a bit of magic in there. There's a bit of culture in there from somewhere.
Yeah, look, on my father's side, there's Welsh and English, and then and also on my father's side, I've got Latvian. So my great-grandfather was Latvian, and came here sort of after World War II. Around that actually. Anyway, his background story is a little bit sketchy. No one really quite knows what it is, to be frank. I think there was a few name changes when he arrived, and so I'm a bit of a mixture. And then on mum's side, there's a mixture there. So American and sort of again the English background too. So
that's what I'd like to hear. A bit of a person, a bit of a woman of the world.
Yeah. So there's a bit of everything there. So I hope to maybe go to Latvia one day and perhaps walk some of those paths and see where that's like my family.
So when you say Latvia, can you tell me a little bit more about that?
Well, look, I don't frankly know much about it, to be honest. So it's not somewhere I've been. I lived in London for 2 years, many years ago, around the 2000 era. I actually worked for a software company back then, and it was in the Y2K time of the world, which was an
Y2K. I remember those ones, you know, I was in, sorry to interrupt you, baby.
No, that's okay.
Like, and they said, the war is gonna end. It's like, how is it gonna end, you know? I just, for the first time I heard there's something so to dial up, you know, the internet. He said the world's gonna end. It's like, I come a long time in Australia. But it's like
it was an interesting time to be working in that space, in the IT arena, to be frank, because we really, as much as we did a lot of testing, we still really didn't know what was going to happen once the clock ticked over on New Year's Eve. So obviously nothing really of any great consequence did happen, as we know now, but at the time it was quite a stressful period to be working in IT. So I worked for a company that largely had memberships. They built databases for organisations that had memberships, like the Football Association was one of our biggest clients. So I did go into their head office on one of their days for a meeting, so that was quite interesting, seeing how all of the craziness of the football world, where that ran out of. So that was an interesting.
But did you for any moment you believe that the world's going to end in mid-1999?
Look, we never thought the world was going to end, but we really didn't know what was actually going to happen when these computers tipped over. So like I said, we obviously did lots of testing and all sorts of scenarios, but until it actually happened, you really didn't know. So so I've done a few different things over
And the theatre too, so you're involved in theatre, you said?
Yeah, look, I've been involved with Bankstown Theatre Company for a long time. I had an 18-year sabbatical, and then found myself doing Annie with my youngest daughter.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, that was a bit of fun. And then sort of once
What character were you playing?
I was a couple. I was the
So you weren't Mrs. Hannigan?
No, I wasn't Mrs. Hannigan. I was one of the Boylan sisters, and there's also the only female president in, one of the only female cabinet members in Roosevelt's cabinet. So I played her as well. Actually, because I did Annie twice, so I did it with Holroyd Musical Society too. So yeah, so we did Annie twice. So yeah, so I hadn't sort of done shows for a long time because I'd lived overseas, and I actually I'm also June Carter in the Johnny Cash tribute show.
Yep.
So I'd spent a decade doing that and doing many Tamworth Country Music Festivals. I think I did about 13 Tamworth Country Music Festivals. COVID unfortunately sort of killed that off in 2020. Yeah, so
a bit of talent there, a bit of
yeah,
acting. Is there a voice in there too? I'm starting
sing.
to pick up.
I can definitely sing. The acting's definitely not my strength. I can do it, but I'm not great at the acting side of it. But I could dance and I could sing. So
Well, the arts, there's something magical about the arts industries, isn't there?
yeah, look, and creative people too. I think there's always something a bit special about anyone that's artistic in any way, whatever it is. Whether you're a bookbinder or a painter or a singer or whatever, I just find like people from the arts always have a lot to offer, and interesting stories, I think, as well.
Yeah. What about from the arts then into politics? How did that come? So you weren't happy?
Look, I just wasn't happy locally with what our council was doing, and still, frankly, I'm not very happy with them. But look, I find, like I was saying, most parliamentarians find themselves there because they're passionate about something, whatever that is, whether it be a cause or they see a need or feel that they're... Look, I mean, that was the other reason why I ran in 2019, was I really felt if I didn't, our area was not going to be represented. So I really was passionate about giving it a go. And look, I really threw everything at it. It was really difficult. It's probably the hardest thing I've ever done, actually. So...
What's the biggest thing you've learned? So going through that whole journey of winning the seat and then being there for a couple of years and then not winning it, not holding it. How does that... What's the biggest thing? What's the number one thing you've taken out of that whole journey and process?
Look, it's certainly, and we had a pretty tough 4 years. I mean, I came in with the drought. Then we had the statewide bushfires. My electorate flooded 4 times. And I mean, the state obviously flooded badly as well. And then, of course, we had COVID and my area was in hard lockdown. So, look, there were many challenges in that 4 years. I certainly learnt a lot. Managing people, I guess, is always a big part. And look, if you don't like people, then definitely don't do that, because it's a very bad idea.
So, I remember too, and politics probably doesn't explain the right word for it now these days for me. It's really about governance, really, of our communal areas.
Yeah, look, and I think it's just seeing a need, or actually seeing something that's about to really be quite serious. I mean, with COVID, for example, we had theories of vaccine hesitancy in my area, which I completely disagreed with, as far as health, some of the higher up people in the health department and just colleagues felt that there was hesitancy in my area, and I actually didn't agree with them on that. I just said no. What part of the issue is that they don't understand how to navigate our system to book in to get vaccinated. This was early on, and so I pushed very hard for a couple of weeks with Brad and Gladys. I kept sort of being quite annoying, actually, and just saying, look, I just think we need to open up some sort of, people can just walk in and be vaccinated without, doesn't matter who they are, where they've come from, they just need to be able to show up, because I have a lot of core communities in my electorate, so a lot of multicultural groups, and we just needed to make it easier for them. So I ended up pushing really hard, and we opened up Bankstown Sports Club. So through that club, we ended up vaccinating 20,000 people with AstraZeneca, and everyone remembers how AstraZeneca was not everyone's favourite choice of vaccine at the time. But look, that was what we had to do. But I guess I could see that there was a problem coming big time our way, and making sure that, you know, I stood up for and it wasn't necessarily everyone that lived in my electorate, it was my bordering electorates. And because they weren't in government, the Labor members that surrounded me, like, I was also going into bat for the people that lived in their electorates, because I could see that there was going to be a big problem if we didn't sort it out quick smart. So it took a couple of weeks of me harassing people, but anyway, we got it there and off we went. So, and I guess that's part of, you know, being in this role. You need to see problems coming as a big picture, and then you've also got your just grassroots local issues that you've obviously got to try and sort out on the ground. But I think it's just people, you know, people come to you with a lot of their problems and issues that they're having, and yeah, it's how you can help them. Look, coming from many different jobs, I've had lots of different things. I've worked in, you know, community radio, IT, I've worked in construction. So, you know, I've lived a life before coming into
the life.
Yeah, I've lived a life before coming into Parliament. So, so with that, I would meet all sorts of people, business owners. People would come to me with ideas for things to do with, you know, I mean, I was a state parliamentarian, but I had, you know, one person coming in about how he felt he had a great thing that would be great for the Defence Force, and connecting him then with the federal parliamentarian. I always had a basic understanding of what people were trying to tell me. I'd say I'm a jack of all trades, master of none. So I'd understand it, you know, on a basic level, and then be able to connect people. That was what I was always quite good at, is connecting who it is you need to go to next to get what you need across the line. So,
and are you finished in this department?
Am I finished?
Oh,
well, look, that's a bit of the question of the moment. I've had a lot of people ask me that. So at the moment, I'm mentoring some of our new people coming in. So I think that's very important. I had other MPs mentor me when I was new, and I think it's good to pass that legacy on. At the moment, I'm helping 2 of the female parliamentarians that are coming in, and once I get them up and going, I'll seek out the fellas and see if they need a hand, any of the new people as well.
Only strictly Liberal?
Look, I'm happy.
Are you liberal?
Yeah, I'm a liberal
Good girl.
member.
Good
Yeah,
girl.
I'm a
Good
liberal
one.
member.
Good one.
Look, I'm happy to talk to anyone if they seek their advice, my advice. I mean, you know, it's a job like no other, and until you're in that role, no one else can really understand it, frankly, because there's just so many facets to it. You've got your local issues, and as a state parliamentarian, you know, you're kind of working up federally, because you'll have people come in on the bigger picture, Medicare type things, which isn't our brief, but trying to connect them with where they need to go. And then, you know, also working with councillors on, you know, your rates, rubbish and roads sort of stuff to help them too. So, yeah, it's definitely a wide and varied role, that's for sure. Yeah, and I always sort of, if anyone ever asks me anything, whatever colour they are, doesn't really matter, you know, I'm always there.
What about the three big ones are red, green and blue these days? Oh, red, blue and green, isn't it?
Yeah.
They're the 3.
Well, there's a few independents that have come in too, so it's going to be an interesting time in state parliament with minority governments, both the lower and the upper house. It's going to be very challenging for them.
That's very interesting.
Yeah.
Well, there's a bit of a, you got to save your voice there, Mario, for a little
Yeah.
while.
No, it's like I just was like, really, thank you very much.
Mario, you're taking a lot of challenges. I would love to see you in government.
Look, I
Local, state, or whatever you should go for it.
you know, like this is, you know, I just done other day the podcast called the Weimar Republic. I don't know if people understand, you know, Weimar Republic concept, you know, in 1919, you know, like the all powers, you know, make the Germany suffer, pay everything, blah blah. The egg was costing 1921 4 Reichsmarks in March. In October cost 4 billion Reichsmarks. So that's but what actually created all this platform created actually to Hitler goes and fascism and everything else in the background, because people are unhappy and everything else. And now, you know, every time when I hear the unions, I remember my father was in union, right? My father was a typical communist product. You know, like, don't you dare to tell me that communism doesn't work, you know what I mean? Like, and he had 4 grades of primary school. He didn't know how to put a signature. That's only what he knew, and a little bit reading and everything else. But he was El Presidente of the unions.
Right.
The unions, the father, man, was like, God, you know, just he was alcoholic, but you know, anyway. And one day they come on his people from, you know, from the government. It's like, listen, you're a good match to be the union because people love you and everything. It's like, I don't know how to write. He said, don't worry, we run the books for you, we run everything for you. 2 years later, police comes on the door. It's like, Comrade Slavko, my father name. He's like, yes, like we would like to come in this police station. He said, why? He's like, I don't know, like 50 pigs are missing or something. It's like, but they told me they're gonna run the books. Like, well, mister, that's the problem. They run the good books. So my father was very pissed off with the system because he's being betrayed. And that's what the unions are today, right? So I was talking about Weimar Republic as well. The unions and the trades. And that's like, I don't care who's belong to what party, but I'm always going to incline to liberals. And if I want to, I don't know. I'm just saying a lot of things now, but when you come as a Wendy in the power or become politician, I don't know, brother. But can I introduce to my guest with the Wendy? So let's go have somebody. He's coming from the besieged city of Melbourne. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, in studio with us is a great friend of mine who lived the Aussie dream, Wendy. And this is what you're gonna like it right now. Vako, was coming from China, right? And as a many Chinese, he comes here with the bags of drugs in he's like, he's like, gonna start finding my little business here. And then he says, he was flying over the city and the plane was delayed and he was flying at the bottom and he says, look at all these containers. Ladies and gentlemen, Vako, please.
Yes, there's many containers really fun.
Thank you, Mario. Good morning, everyone. Actually, good afternoon.
Yes.
I was tempted to come and go to join you when you first start, but now knowing how it's going to take, has taken me to get here. It's a long trip.
Yeah.
Well, I guess this is what great friends are for, especially when you know one of your friends doing great things, trying to break a record. I love to be, as I said, I want to be part of that history making process. So I'm glad that I'm here.
Oh, thank you for coming from Melbourne. I mean, that's, as I say, see, this is what the life it is about. I don't have my headsets, which is good. My ears are going a bit better. But I trust, I'm talking, without hearing myself. The point we're trying to make, this is what makes us people different than when you get the hopes with the one group of the people or they are not here for you. I always come back, and this is the proof when you ask me why it's impossible as possible. It's a normal people from society and some heroes like yourself, like Ainsley, like Jay, and Vako coming from Melbourne to be here today for half an hour. It's a big thing, you know what I mean? So that's for me it is. So thank you, Vako. So introduce yourself. The containers. tell us your road from the China with the drugs or cocaine.
What an intro! What an intro!
I'll send it for the police.
Take it away, brother. Take it away.
I think you've already got attention. If you see the data, your audience it jumps straight away. See that?
That's why that's why Mario's got to here. Get it?
Yeah.
Drug trafficking.
No, I didn't say that. It was you.
Did you just land today?
I just landed, but no.
From Melbourne.
I landed 1989.
No, but you arrived from Melbourne.
I arrived last night.
Oh, last night.
I came here, I thought I need to be prepared. Usually I come in the morning, I really come up here quite regularly, but usually I come in the morning and leave at night. But this is a big show, big do, got to come here, prepare myself. So I came here last night, but come here straight away. As Mario said, I came here in 1989, being around for a number of years, coming from outside world, trying to understand the country, and cut a very long story short, saw some opportunities. Like what they say, when you're too close to the woods, you cannot see trees, and being distant from the woods, you can see trees. And I was one of those people that spot some opportunities. Back in 1990, what was this, 2007? Gee, that's going 15 years ago, when I got to land in Sydney, and the Virgin flight circular didn't land in time, and because of the traffic congestion down there, and I was a bit getting nervous, anxious, looking down the planes and seeing what's going on. And then saw these containers. Lying idle down in Botany. And I think I just read an article on one of the cabin magazines talking about housing crisis in Australia. So there's a message here. So I popped down and I thought, wow, can we take advantage of these retired containers and turn them into part of the solution to address the housing crisis, which was not as bad as now back then. But I thought, let me research that. Couldn't wait to get off the plane, and didn't realize it took me 16 months research and preparation. Then I set up a company back in March 2009, with an idea of turning recycled shipping containers into a part of solution to address the housing and affordability and shortage issues.
Basically, we're gonna live in a
I'm
containers.
going to ask you a question. Was I actually working in logistics and supply chain, and the biggest problem is I'm paying a fortune for containers because now there's a shortage of containers.
That's true.
Because of
That's true.
the housing. I
And
don't
then
know.
you're watching these shows where they're building the homes,
Yeah.
right? And then like there's some couples bring the shipping containers.
Yeah.
That was like, wow, man. That's like, what are you talking about? The guy is manufacturing the no containers, take the shipping containers, make the prefabrications, and put your home in a short period of time. But it's not a grand design.
Mm,
That's the difference. It is like if it's not in a magazine, it doesn't work.
that's true. In fact, speaking of the grand designs, Kevin Cloud's favorite show was actually a double-story house made of shipping containers.
Yeah.
That was his favorite piece of architecture.
Yeah, but is it yours?
No, I think
okay.
we could do better because this is a number of years. But back to the story.
Yeah.
So then, 2009, after the company was founded, 16 months of preparation, we made 5 prototypes, all in China, design engineering in Australia. That has always been a business model for us because Australia is not geared up to manufacturing, especially of that kind of caliber. So that year, 2009, we made 5 prototypes, and the last one, probably the best one out of all, came out to Australia was December, just before Christmas, and it was on the port for over a week, and I was really concerned because back then we haven't had good summers in the last few years, but back then it was really, really hot. The metal sheet on the container could not touch it. You can cook an egg and cook food on it. It was that hot. And
Who's gonna live in the container then, right?
I was
It's a
worried.
sauna.
Oh my god! I said, "Geez, things inside's gonna either pop or buckle." And so as soon as I received these 4 containers, which got turned into a 3-bedroom home, I said, "My God, what a disaster is gonna be inside!" But to my greatest dismay, surprise, as soon as I opened the gate, a fresh cold air reached out to my face. I said, "Oh my God, that's still because China's still winter. It's still got winter inside."
Wow.
I said, "Oh my God, one thing at least I know, I was sure the thermal protection has worked."
So why, when you ask something, why house commission or house crisis in Australia now we're talking? It's a big thing,
Look, I
why
think-
nobody addresses this with the homes like this?
Look, we've built, in our term of government, we've built quite a lot. My electorate actually has the 10th most amount of social housing in the state, so my area certainly has quite a lot of social housing. There was a bit of a perfect storm, really, because we had the fires too, which exacerbated part of the problem, particularly down south. So, we lost a lot of homes, which then caused people then to seek accommodation elsewhere, which then added pressure on parts of the other parts of the state. And COVID too, interestingly, a lot of people that were expats came back. So we had, as much as there were people leaving, we also then had a lot of people coming back into Australia, which added further pressure onto the homing market. And like I know one of the guys I went to school with, he literally bought a house from overseas, sight unseen, just to come back. So I think there was a bit of a perfect storm as far as where we find ourselves now. And obviously now with the inflationary problems we've got with interest rates going up, it's now adding extra on top. And look, I think part of the problem, frankly, has been too, immigration-wise, we've let a lot of people come in without actually having infrastructure. And again, it's the 2 different levels of government, because state government's largely in charge of looking after housing, and yet immigration falls to the federal government. So they've allowed a lot of people to immigrate when we really necessarily haven't had all the infrastructure required to accommodate them. And I know that's a big topic at the moment, as with our staff shortages that we also now find ourselves with. That there's a push to let skilled migrant workers come back in again. But again, the problem that's going to further exacerbate our housing problem, because we're now going to have more people coming in with nowhere to house them. And look, I'm of the firm view that we have many people here already on a variety of working holiday visas, and I think we actually need to look at the conditions of their visas, because some of them are restricted with the hours they can work, and I think we need to allow them to work more hours, because then that will help with the skill shortage part of it. But they're already here living somewhere.
Yeah, but they say because they bring the 1 million people to them right now, right? In Australia. I mean, like, where they're going to live?
Exactly. And look, I just think it's both levels of government need to really actually speak to each other. Perhaps now that we have Labor, basically state and federal, they might sit down and have a really good conversation about the immigration levels that we have. And I mean, look, everyone, I think everyone in this room, almost, apart from you, Jai, like, have come from overseas. So it's certainly, we welcome everyone.
Except he come from South America. South Africa.
But
These are all my brothers and sisters now. These are all my brothers and sisters now. But as long as we, see, for me, that's why I always said to Michelle Byrne and Stevie Barley and these people here in Western Sydney, who I've spent a lot of time with over the years, talking and growing with and learning and sharing with each other, that if I ever did get into politics, kick me in the backside, turn me around and send me out, because I want to stay one man from the land and one bloke with one vote, right? But as time goes on, the governance of life, the governance of the resources. See, we also had a little bit of that tradition and culture in our way of being too. That it wasn't just like we had a circle of people who made decisions for the camp, right? Yeah. And for the nation, from the salt water to the Sydney, we had our leaders that would come together and have ceremony and make decisions about what was best, because we never had 27 million people then here. Yeah. That's another thing. So that's why I think having an understanding of governance and having an understanding of politics for me now is something that's really growing. Yeah. Growing because there seems to be I'll say it like this. There's now a massive shift happening, not just in government, but in human awareness of what happened here in Australia.
Yeah, look, I mean, I was the chair of the Community Services Committee for the New South Wales State Parliament in the last term of government, and I did 2 inquiries. The first one was into street sleeping homelessness, and then following on from that was meanwhile use housing. So that was about how we could look at some of the properties that we have that sit empty for a long time while a development application's in to repurpose it to something else, and how we could then transition some of the people that we had that needed to go into crisis accommodation in between, then moving them into social housing, because we actually built quite a lot of social housing in our term of government, substantially around, particularly in Sydney. I mean, I opened up a couple of different places that were either repurposed or built from scratch in 4 years that I was in that role. And, and in part of the meanwhile use housing inquiry we did, part of it was with the Aboriginal Land Corporation. They were, witnesses, and how we, develop social housing to actually suit the mob, right? Yeah. Because, very family orientated, multi-generational, and not just in the Indigenous community, but also then in some of our multicultural communities as well, because a lot of our different multicultural groups are very similar in that regard, that they have multi-generational families living together, and how, looking down the road, future-wise, how we can best accommodate that, what will be a need, and there's a need now, and not just, necessarily building units, one-bedroom units. And look, it's quite complex, particularly when it comes to the homelessness issue, because, there's always housing available for anyone. However, sometimes with the mental health aspect that comes with it, you can put someone in a one-bedroom unit and then go, well done, we've found you somewhere to live. But if they actually can't cope with everything that comes with that, paying bills, turning on the lights, getting the gas, people need the wraparound services, particularly if they've come from some sort of trauma, regardless of whether it be drug addiction or family breakdown. So it's quite a complex issue, and I always felt that it really needed to be, from the state government perspective, the property and the people needed to be under the one minister, and they were under two separate ministers. So you had one minister looking after the property.
Totally agree with you. There's a disconnect again. That's someone coming from outside industry looking in, looking at the trees to see the woods. You see the disconnect between the government and the industry and what's happening. And often, we reach out. I'm always active and try to grab the attention of the politicians who are making noise, including the current the housing minister. We've not got any response from her office ever. That in Australia, if you look at the media space today, whether it's newspaper, social media, LinkedIn, everybody talking about shortage of housing of all sorts. All right, so from everyday family homes to social housing, affordable housing, NDS, defense housing, across the board. Okay, everything is in shortage, in crisis. Now, and then on top of that, you hear tragic stories like, we've got broke, we've got under, and you got a couple of weeks ago, number 6 ranked Port Davis went under, with over 1,000 homes to be built, and a lot of people losing deposits, a lot of outcry out there. Now, and I'm sure there's a reason for that, and I'm looking at from an outside industry point of view. All of this can be addressed quite not easily, but effectively. It all boils down to how I started my venture. The way we build homes, but the way homes are built in Australia is flawed. It worked when it first started. We barely inherit a system from the ancestors of Aussies from basically UK, how they built 1,000 years ago. A system has not changed, has not evolved. Now, if you look at the phone, if you use the same phone for a couple of years, people say you're there, you have not caught up with the technology. You change your phone once a year at least, right? How often do we change our homes, right, in our lifetimes? And the question is, how often do we change the system the home built? We don't. We still use the same technology. We still use the sticks. We still use the bricks and mortar. Times moved on. The condition we live in has changed. The weather changed. I'm not a huge fan of global warming, but the weather, the condition has changed. We've got to create homes to accommodate those changes, to facilitate the way we live now and the future. But we're not. Most people I'm not being critical here, and that's a reality, and that's the fact that a lot of companies go under. It's a clear snapshot of what's happening, and also the mentality of those players in the industry. They are not visionary at all. They're myopic. They look at what they're doing today. All right. Little planning. In the good times when Australia was in that position that everyone at home and we do whatever we want, and we still make money off it. Now, in the last couple of years, people working on the very, very small margins. Industry changed. Supply chain has been disrupted, and there's been a storm. These builders or the industry players are not prepared or not geared to weather this sort of storm. And a lot of people choose to go under because that's the easy way out. So if they are prepared to change the business model, prepared to at least have the model reviewed to seek alternative to better their position, not necessarily have to compete, but at least as a survival strategy, do something different. Rather getting hit by a train, say, did I get hit? Just got hit. It's too late. You've got to be smart enough, savvy enough to understand what you're doing is wrong, or at least is not correct. Then you change it.
Can I ask, what does it look like in your opinion when it's fixed? What's your solution?
Okay, have a look at what part of the world is doing. Okay, let's say Europe. Scandinavian countries, if your homes are built on site, there's something wrong there with you, okay? Unless it's a highly customized home that you cannot do in the factory. Most homes actually built in the factory. Our neighbors in New Zealand,
I'll bring you somebody.
a lot of homes are prefabricated. Japan,
Yeah, I was going to
North
talk about
America.
Sekisui housing.
Yeah.
So
North
yeah.
America, all right. Olympic Village, but 2000 Winter Games in Canada were 100% prefabricated. There's nothing wrong. It's proven. Corey House in Melbourne, in Geelong, we're talking about over 100 years ago. I mean, this is in the colonial time. It was prefabricated in UK. We're talking about over 200 years ago. It was already done. It's nothing. It's not something landed on Earth from Mars. It's something that's been done, proven, working in many parts of the world. Yet, when it comes to Australia, we have different view. Good example is that the banks don't even support it. Now, if a bank, that has been the single biggest challenge we have experienced since we started. The banks simply, okay, yeah, sounds good, and interested, but
So did you say? Do you mean it was hard for you to get funding, like to get some people to back you in?
correct.
Yeah.
Now, if you say, okay, you want a home built tomorrow and you love our system to death, you want to do it, but most people, as you know, will borrow money from the bank. The bank will come in. Traditionally, there are about 5-6 stages. Progress payment. So you do the builder does the foundation. The QS from the bank come out and say, yes, it's been done, here's the money. Then you do the framing, you do the roofing, the lockup, etc. to the key. About 5-6 payments. That's a traditional model. Banks are used to that. They're very comfortable.
Yeah.
For us, today you see a piece of dirt. You might see maybe a couple of weeks, you might see some sort of foundation on site, but you don't see anything for 2 weeks. Now, from our side's point of view, you think, oh, nothing's happening.
Right.
But lots happening in the factory. You've got to finish it in 2 months, right? 8 weeks.
Yeah.
Who's fund that? Who's going to fund that? Now, if we're well or two, okay, we can fund it, but there's a lot of exposure there too, right? That's another story. But the thing is, if we were to help in mass, not one person, we're talking about a group of homes,
Yeah.
or a builder or a developer. We're not talking about one. It needs some serious funding here. Yet we don't get that. The banks don't support. So you're talking about third-tier lender or third-party lender. Yes, they can fund it, but you're going to pay a lot more than what the interest rate that the banks would apply, and you have to pass on.
So is that because they were basically viewing it as an investment loan rather than a home loan? Is that
No,
that's why the interest was different? Or?
You're talking about the third party.
Yeah.
Third party
Just
understand.
with the,
Yeah, because they are third party lenders, so
Yeah.
they're not going to
it's not
apply the
normal
same
loan.
rate. Yeah.
Yeah.
So therefore, it becomes unaffordable. You know,
Yeah.
you can, but you want to do something that you can pass on to the end user. So people always talk about affordable housing, and I'm sick of listening. I mean, I'm not really sure if people do understand the true meaning of affordable housing.
Yeah.
All right, so and I'll put that to the audience in a minute. And
Feel
it
free,
just sounds good that people say, okay, affordable housing, affordable
Have a
housing.
rest. Have a rest. Have a
Yeah,
rest.
so I know some councils
No,
have.
I have another guest, coming as well soon. So like that's what's like.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah, so I know some councils too have like worked into their targets as to percentages that they need to then incorporate, affordable housing into any new developments. That's part of the levers that can be pulled to try and alleviate the pressure. And look, obviously Airbnb is another part of the problem. You've got all of these homes sitting empty for a good part of the time. And I mean, look, people bought those homes, that was their investment, that's what they've decided to do with it. And Australia's a free country and that's what we love about it. But like I know now Ballina, the council up there, has just recently changed their laws. I think that they can only have homes now leased out under the Airbnb space. I think it's for 90 days throughout the year, and the rest of the time it needs to be tenanted, because obviously there's such a housing crisis.
Yes. When I was saying that there's a disconnect between the governance and what's happening in the society, is that a good example is that when you had the floods, Northern Rivers and all that stuff in New South Wales, and a lot of people were out of their homes and obviously needed temporary sheltering.
Yeah.
And we put our hands up so we can help. Okay?
Yeah.
Seriously, we can help. And we didn't get any feedback. And then finally we heard some piece of news Paratech government has put in $350 million for 2,000 homes. Sounds great. All right. If you do a quick maths, that's $175,000 a piece. Guess what you get with $175,000 a piece? I can give you a proper 3-bedroom home with that money. Guess what you get? That investment, $350 million. I couldn't come to my senses. That's a container.
Yeah, that was the temporary accommodation. Similar to what we did with the bushfires too. Same
All
sort
right.
of
Then
thing.
on top of that, you have they spend money. I don't know how much money they got. Okay, these are mobile homes. How many people can you put? How many mobile homes can we physically build anyway in Australia to accommodate thousands of people, tens of thousands of people who've lost their homes?
It'd be great to keep talking, brother. I've got
Yeah.
some other people in Sydney,
Yeah.
especially from the hills,
Yes.
and some of our big companies here who are sort of doing similar stuff. And I know that Mario's just come. He's got some magic to share. Now, just on that note too, I'll bring a little bit of a joke. I'll bring a little bit of a
Yeah.
Well, sometimes I always like to introduce myself to people I don't know, but when we start talking about land and those kind of things, I just want to introduce myself as maybe very soon your future landlord.
Yes.
Being Indigenous man from here, see?
That's it.
That's how it works, right? That's how it works.
Okay,
brother.
That's what I forgot to say. That's what it's. But the good news it's a 1 minute past 1.
Oh
And
yes.
we are in now 53 more hours. So 53 more hours, and I want to invite my next guest, Wendy.
Just before you do,
Yeah, please. Yes,
I'm
yes.
going, brother.
Where are you going?
I'm going to catch myself some
Fresh air.
some goanna and have some lunch.
Okay.
I'm going to go and get some tucker, brother. I need to go and hunt. I need some food. I'm going to go and get some tucker, and I will be back.
Okay.
And that way we can also.
I know you're gonna be back because you need to serve some peppers for me. Okay, jokes aside, Jay stayed with us here for till 3 p.m. But he can't be in the studio with us because it's far too many of us in the studio. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna say goodbye to Jay.
Bye, Jay.
I will be
Bye,
back.
Jay.
I'll
I'm
be
gonna
back.
bring my new guest in studio, Wendy Goni, and we're gonna continue more conversation with the Wendy Goni. So, as I say, it's 2 minutes past 1, which means I'm the 54 hours short from the world record. And that being said,
You
it's
get
gonna. Sorry.
You'll get there.
Yeah, I'm gonna get there. So Jay, I see you outside. Because we're changing ourselves. We need to have independent witnesses for 4 hours, and that's what's happening right now in the studio with us. But it's I'm gonna call the Wendy Goni to come in studio with us, and I want to introduce you to my Wendy.
Yeah.
Because it's the first one. So Wendy, please
Everyone
come
needs
inside.
2 Wendy's in one studio.
Yeah, that's
So-
correct. So Wendy, please come inside. There's a two Wendy's. There's a two Wendy's inside. So have a conversation. I'm gonna come outside. Just Ainsley.
Hello,
somebody-
Wendy. Good to see you.
Yeah. So another my friend comes. Have the headsets. Yeah. Yeah, whatever you want. So my friend Wendy, she comes from Brisbane.
Oh, gee, you've got everything flying in from everywhere, haven't you?
Yeah, look at that. Wendy. She's a hills girl. She's from this part of Australia, and was a colleague from this part of the city. So yeah, take that chair because that chair is much more closer to you. I come out so let's go talk. But that's the thing is, I want say thank you, Wendy, for being here today. Thank you for flying. Thank you for flying from Brisbane. How's it, Brisbane? You can't hear me?
No.
You can't hear me? What do you mean you can't hear me? Maybe cannot hear me.
That's all right.
Okay, Lindsay Lindsay, can you check that? Can you check now? Can you hear us now?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so that was it there. So yeah, I want to say thank you, Wendy, for coming today.
My pleasure,
from the Brisbane, and then this wet season of the season.
I know, beautiful
Yeah,
day.
it's
So-
after yesterday. It's quite a contrast.
Quite a contrast there.
So did you just come today from Brisbane?
No, I've been here for a few days
Oh,
now.
okay.
Yeah.
What part of Brisbane are you from?
Right from the city, right, yeah, I'm from Bowen Hills.
Oh, okay.
The valley, so very close here. Yeah, so Mario,
Yeah.
you're off and running. How many hours have
Okay, so it's 54 more hours. 50 more hours I need to stay in the studio.
I got the countdown up on your website now, so we're
Yeah.
counting down to the 56 hours.
Oh, okay, so let me open this one. So
Yeah, so if you open that one up, you'll be able to see how long you got there. You won't have to. You can cut down.
yeah,
the
I like to
seconds.
invite everybody. Feel free to come on a live 905.com.au. I want you to come and join us in the discussion studio. I have an Ainsley in the studio, Wendy Goni from X Designs, ex Hills resident, now in Brisbane. and as well the Wendy Lindsay, right? Wendy Lindsay, State Member of Parliament, and she's here with us as well. She's sharing her insights and everything. Yes, please take it over.
I need to check your energy levels, Mario.
Okay, can we check? No, it's still.
How are you feeling, Mario?
I feel good.
No, you're not getting it.
Okay.
We've been practicing this whole morning.
Okay, can we do again?
We're going to do it. When I ask you how you're feeling, you need to tell the listeners, I feel good. Oh, I feel so good. Ugh. Come on.
Say again, what did you do? What did you say?
I feel good. Oh, I feel so good. Ugh.
I feel so good. Ugh.
No, we just need to bring some energy back in there.
No, you're doing great.
Okay, so official counter,
Yes.
it's 2 hours.
No, 2 days. 2
Sorry.
days. 2 hours.
Sorry,
I think Mario
sorry,
is
2 days,
delirious.
5.
Oh.
Yes, it is.
Oh, it's a countdown.
Look, and I'm just looking at on our digital clock. It says 29th of April. It's like, my God, where is the 1st of May?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So yeah, Izzy, can you take it over? So if I mention that, I can take it over.
Okay, we've got 2 Wendy's here, by the way.
So I'm the fun lady.
Wendy, what is your surname, by the way?
I'm Gonyi Mendes. So I started
Oh,
my radio
not fun.
career with Mario.
Wendy, Gonyi?
Gonyi.
South American.
Yes. Yeah, Gonyi is Spanish, but yeah,
Oh.
Mendes is yes, I'm from El Salvador originally.
Oh, wow. Hola.
Yeah, hola.
That's all I know.
How you going?
I'm well, thank you.
Yeah, good to see you.
Really busy.
It's a nice surprise.
He knew anyway.
Yeah.
He knew.
Yeah. No, I didn't know. So
Oh,
it's a nice
okay.
surprise.
Yes.
Nice
He
to
told
see
me a few, I think over a month ago when he decided,
you. Nice.
and he didn't say he must come. But I thought, since you spread the news, I thought he had to support you.
Fantastic. Yes.
Well, I'm very impressed that you both flew in from Melbourne and Brisbane.
Yeah. Well, this is what the friends for.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Well, we're going to do a little exercise because I'm the fun police, by the way. So part of the fun police is we need to keep the energy levels up
Yes.
on this broadcast
Yes.
and for all the listeners out there.
Yes.
So we're going to do a little exercise,
Yes.
and it's called laughter therapy. Have you ever done laughter therapy?
No, is that what you do?
Well, we're going to practice it. It's part of my show, Positive Energy Show. So what we're going to do to get you moving, but you need to participate.
Yeah.
Okay, so I need from you guys a ho. You need to put your hands out.
Yeah.
Ho.
You know, we just got here.
Yeah, no, we're going to ho.
Ho.
Okay, ho. And then we're going to go ha. Ha. Okay.
Okay.
So it's a ho and then a ha.
Ha. Okay.
So let's go. Ho. Ha. And I'm going to pick up speed. Ho.
Ho.
Ha. Ho. Ha. Ho. Ha. Ho. Ha. Ho. Ha. Ho. Ha. Ho. Ha. Choo choo.
It's all right. You know what it is.
He's ready to go.
Fucking train. You know, we're on this happy positivity train.
Nice. I'm happy positive anyway.
Okay. I'm gonna be doing that for Mario every couple of
That's
hours just to
great.
make sure
Yeah.
he's.
Well, we wait till he gets back. Maybe you do it for Mario.
He just cracks up. He starts laughing non-stop.
I'm
I
not
don't get the law and the how going.
He does. He's doing. I mean, we just started, so he's all right. He's gonna need that tonight, maybe. Are you here tonight?
No. I'm gonna
Well,
come
that's
back
when we
again.
need you to come
No,
back.
I will be here. I believe I've got a night shift, so I'll be on from 11 p.m.
Bring him a bullet train.
Yeah,
not
on
any-
Sunday night. Sunday night from 11
Bullet
p.m.
one.
till 4 a.m. in the morning.
Yeah.
We're going to be doing games.
Yeah, then you're gonna need those. Then that's for sure. I feel that's
Yeah.
when you're gonna need them.
Yes.
So, yeah. So you do positive trainings.
We do. So the show I do is Positive Energy Show,
Right.
and we focus on gratitude. We focus on positive psychology.
Nice.
We have inspirational speakers, but we also bring in a lot of young local talent. You know, people that have been on Voice and Australia's Got Talent, etc. But all artists that don't necessarily, give them a voice and a platform to actually air their music and their talent and also share. We also have our authors and then.
Yeah. Also, you do the show here at 90.
Yes, I'm at 90.5. I do it in the morning, Saturday mornings, 8 till 10.
Nice.
My co-host just left earlier. So she focuses on charities. Her speciality is doing work with all the different charities in the
Nice.
community. And then last year she got crowned Miss Charity Australia, Yeah.
That's
impressive.
which is good. But she did some crazy things. She shaved her head
Ooh, okay.
to raise money.
Nice.
And she had hair all the way till below her butt.
Wow, that's
Wow.
brave.
And she cut it all off for
Wow.
Heals Relay for Life Cancer.
Nice.
I was trying to raise more money than what she was raising for cancer to get her not to cut her hair, which was probably not the right thing of me.
Yeah, right.
But anyway, she she's done quite a bit of work for all the.
Nice.
Which is good.
Well, it's good to do that if you can. Like, try and do some charity work.
Yeah.
Different
Well,
organisations.
Mario's also supporting the Meter Foundation for the Bloody Long Walk. Did you know that?
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so part of the of this drive that he's doing at the moment is obviously he wants to break this record, and he's having that attempt at breaking the record. But he's also got two foundations that he's supporting, and one of them is the Meter Foundation, and they do the Bloody Long Walk. Have you heard of that walk?
The Bloody Long Walk.
It's a 35-kilometre walk that's done around in different states.
Yes.
And there is there's one in Brisbane. I'm doing that. So it's a 35-kilometre walk, and they also do it here in Sydney and in Wollongong. I think they do it in different parts of.
So you walk for 35 kilometres.
Yes, in one day.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yes.
That's far.
Let me try this. Do you know how far from Coogee to Bondi?
That's not 35 k's.
22.
Is it? It looks like it's only 10 k's. On the
Do that within 2 hours. Return.
Yeah. So
is that 22 k's?
I've done it a number of times.
Sorry, the return is 22.
Yeah.
Okay.
You got to do that. Oh, well, I did it
it's
within
nice walk.
because my mate parked the car in Bondi, as you know, these car park only 2 hours. And Charlie said, "Okay, you can do it, I can do it." So he followed me. I got rid of him halfway because you never hardly exercise, so you've got to have a certain level of fitness. So I said, "I've got to make back, for you not to pick up the parking ticket." So I made it 1 hour and 45 minutes.
Wow.
Beautiful walk.
What I'm amazed is, if you think about a half marathon is 21, 22 k's or something. So you're actually walking more than a half marathon.
Yeah, well, I mean, you know what? I've always wanted to. The thought of doing a marathon is I would love to do it. My knees are not great for it though. Like it's some people are built for running. I'm built for walking, so I can walk. And I just like doing long distance walking. And then the opportunity came to do this for charity as well. And raise some money. And why not? The mitochondria is a very, very not so well known disease, and we give them some away. And last year we raised over $1,000, and look, it was nice. We helped somebody get a wheelchair, and I was like, oh, that's pumped. I wouldn't have done that otherwise, right? Yeah. So when I said to Mario, he said, looking to give some foundations some support. We went, okay, let's choose the Meter Foundation and the Bloody Long Walk.
So if Mario got, just to tell the listeners out there, is there a link or anything where they can go and
it's on the website's got a really it's got a link through to the Meter Foundation and the Bloody Long Walk.
Or my spread they email it too.
Yeah, they definitely it's definitely there.
Yeah.
I know it's all along the East Coast and stuff. So last year did it in 6 hours.
Yeah,
So
I do
we were
daily
like-
walking as well. I do, and the saying I created, saying Chinese, basically says unless you hit 10,000 steps, you will sleep.
Yeah.
So that's my motto.
Nice.
So I do
Well,
minimum 10,000 steps a day.
I did 5,000 this morning. We tried to do 5,000 before breakfast.
Yeah.
So if you get 5,000 before breakfast, then the rest is easy.
Well, that's easy. I got up. First thing I do is I park the car in Crown, and when I walk to the studio, that's already 3,000 steps. All I need to go back to do something that's already 6,000 steps.
Yeah, before you know it, it's done. But I think like anything, if you measure it.
But you just got to be conscious. It's like you go
that's
to work, and it's different because when you have the mindset that I'm exercising and you're walking for a purpose, it's different. You get a different outcome. It's like some people. Okay, I'm a hairdresser. I'm on my feet all day. I clock up 20,000 steps. That means nothing to you, to your body, at all, because you're
The
working.
body's used to it,
You're working. You got to say, okay, I'm actually doing a course. I'm going to be on my feet for 3, 4, 5 hours. That's a different outcome altogether. Sometimes mental is more important. What Shakespeare said, it's the mind makes the body rich, isn't it?
Nice. Very nice. Good one. Yeah, so you're definitely all about charity, and I think there is a hospital as well that Mario also had on his website supporting as well. Again, so
Great call.
Yeah, fantastic.
What's some other favourite walks that people have done?
Walks.
Yeah.
Or I've well, I don't know about walking, but I would love to do more longer walks. I used to do all the city to serves running in that before when I was doing more running, but now I've been walking. But
Yeah, one part I love Sydney is that you have beautiful raw walks along the coast. With Melbourne, we don't have it. Have a stretch as long as that you can do continuous walking without having to go on the street on roads.
I think now they're building a really long walk from I think it's like 30 odd kilometers or something from Parramatta through to the city. So I'd love to do that. Yeah, when it's finished. I don't know if it's finished yet, but I know there were plans to do it.
Connecting them all.
But for now, you could at
from
least
Waterloo.
yeah.
I think you can go like Waterloo all around the harbour now to Barangaroo.
Yeah.
That's all been done.
For at least you can do Coogee Bondi. That stretch is always there.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful park. I live here. I will definitely do it.
Yeah.
Well, I remember once I came across. I was doing that walk, and I saw an older gentleman from the back. He looks like a very young person to me, but I can tell by the color of his hair, his age. And he passed me, and he came back, and I couldn't help have to stop him. So I said hello. He said, I've been doing this for the last 35 years, every day. And
just on walking, by the way, so we actually walked with inventors. I actually went for my first walk on this thing, probably only found it now. Yeah, I've been looking at stuff for so long. And I went up to, what's the area called? Just on Henry Lawson Drive, and I went down this little parkway. There's a park and
So
everything.
the national park, was it the
And
beach track?
no,
or-
further higher up, Henry Lawson.
Right.
I think it's just past Panania. There's a little down where you're going to, there's a little park where you can actually have park and barbecue area and everything, and you walk and there's this whole ramp, like wooden ramp walkway.
Oh, Lambeth Street.
That's it.
Yeah, okay. Yeah,
It's absolutely stunning.
Yeah, so that's you start at Lambeth Street Park and then walk along to Fitzpatrick Park.
And you walk all along Georges River.
Yeah.
Yeah, beautiful. And I also saw this, because I don't think people are actually doing this, but there's this tree with a rope. I don't think they go out to the river, swim into the water. Yeah. Look, that's what we used to do when we were kids growing up down there. Yeah.
We just spent all of our time growing up in the national park and the reserves down around that area, down the George River. There's a lot of this. Interesting, actually, through COVID, I had people starting to follow me because my daughter was the only time she ever left the house was on the weekend when I'd take her for a bushwalk. So I started to do a different walk every weekend, and then I had a lot of people following me on Facebook to see where I was going and where it was, and then they do it with their family. So yeah, just all these bushwalks that we used to do all the time when I was younger. More years than I care to think later. There I was rediscovering them all again with my daughter, so it was kind of fun. Yeah, so it's a nice part of Sydney, our forgotten corner of Sydney East Hills. There's some nice spots there.
So Mario, go back.
Yes.
What is your plan over the next 56 hours? I know you've got quite a lot of guests coming.
Look, everything is okay now. I'm annoyed. I think I have a pimple in my nose inside, which is just pissed me off slowly. I mean, like it just every time something is, I've done something. Maybe I was speaking. No, I don't know what it is. But the thing is,
that's got heat.
Who?
It's got heat.
Heat. What's it mean?
Heat in your blood.
Heat in my blood.
Yes.
What the hell is it in my nose?
Yeah, well, that's the reflection. So it's something that's got to come out. Finding pimples and all these little things on our body. That's the reflection of.
Because it started like 2-3 days ago, right?
Yeah.
Then I started having some symptoms from last year.
It doesn't help either.
Sorry? No, that's,
I think it's a nervous pimple.
It could be. Look, something is pimple or something I've done it because it's annoying. Anyway. But what I'm planning is, I'm just thinking with the timetable. I know I need to be 56 hours here, 1 minute. Yeah. The last time when I was awake, 96 hours. That was a different time, different situation. Different life, full of LSD. You know what I mean?
What happened? When were you up 96 hours?
Yeah, like I was in ambush for 9 days.
Oh, right.
Wow. And on my 9th day, I was being stabbed in the back. The people were waiting for 9 days.
That's how they were keeping you awake.
Well, we shoot the what kind of veins? LSD was given by doctors to us. It was something called a pepperone, which is like a pure.
Was this your war days, by the way?
Yes. And then on 9th day, they just hide. You just want to do something. and it was 3 o'clock in the morning. It was raining and it was just bad. So I covered myself with a rainproof cover, and next moment, like everything just. I think I maybe fall asleep for a split second, and there was silence. And I was guy next to me. His name was Aruja. I said, Aruja. He says, what? It's like I think we're dead. I don't see nothing. He says to me, yeah, bro, it's dark black, and somehow that cover fell from my head, and I'm just seeing tiny light on the horizon in the forest, right? And they're supposed to come out of the tunnel, which they did. And I said, I need to do toilet. And he says, everybody's like, shh. I'm commanding officer, he says, shh. So 9 days, everybody's awake. So they're late for 5 days. But nobody told us we should go back home. So they left us. Well, there was supposed to be casualties there, and they did. And I went for to water the tree. And somebody says to me, bro, you have a light. I said, light? A cigarette light, right? I said, no. He said, I do have. He lit us like, what are you doing? It's at night, it's 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, it's in the forest, you can see the cigarette butt on 2 kilometers during night. With open eyes. 2 kilometers, you can see there's somebody smoking in flat line. And he later saw that I was sitting on uniform, and it was an enemy, and just like zoop zoop. I was like, what? And I was rolling him down, and fight started. The next moment, so I was in hospital, still awake. I was like, this. The doctor says, like, it's okay, we give you something to sleep. And I was like,
Wow.
96 hours.
So 56 is a piece of cake.
No, it is because I was 20 years old, now I'm 51. So that's the difference, but my plan is very simple. The counter is there, and 2 days, 5 hours and 39 minutes it's there, and I know I need to reach this one, and I will reach, because again, thank you for Waco traveling in Melbourne, being all morning here on the station, you too as well, Wendy, and Lindsay's here, Ainsley, Dennis, Lindsay. You see, this is the problem. I expected this Wendy, then suddenly Wendy, Lindsay, right? And then Ainsley.
Yeah, they're just giving you
and there's like so many Liz, you know what I mean? So
it's raining Wendy's.
There's so many of them. So that was, that was only plan it is, and hopefully from this, it's gonna be good learning curve for everybody that it is possible. It is possible, anything which you imagine. And I always come back to one thing, it's not about me. Always come back, this world challenge is not about me. It's about everybody coming here together. Because I wanted to people see that I'm not in the dark, left on my own, greedy and egoistic. It's mine, like what's it called? What's his name? The Grinch, it's the nice like Grinch, the Grinch? Yeah. And he's that.
Yeah, no, you're sharing it.
It's difficult, carries my name, but it was everybody. And that's what everybody knows. Everybody who sees today. Mandy Lindsay comes today, rain. Ainsley Dane's here today with me all day. You and everybody else flying overseas and finding time to be with me. It's a big thing for the world record, for the Guinness World Record. Yeah, so that's my plan.
That's good.
Yes, please.
Melbourne and Brisbane, it's not quite overseas there.
No, I know from Melbourne, like for the Melbourne, every time, what you guys don't know about Waco, this is, every time I see the Waco, my world is become enlightened. Because Waco practicing this called the Taoism, whatever you Tao, right?
Okay.
And then Waco presented me once upon a time the picture. There's an image, was it painting?
Mm-hmm.
Painting, right? It's like a 3 sides there. And he says, when you see this, it's like, he said, the Buddhist monk, he went in the mountain in China, he stayed 6 months to write this. I'm like, wow, man. That must be very profound. 6 months, mountain for 3 letters, right? So every time when I see the Waco, we talk about meaning of the life. And Melbourne, I think we are lucky we don't live in Melbourne, honestly. Honestly, you can say whatever you want. When was the last time you were there?
I was in Melbourne a couple of months back, by the way.
And what did you
I love it. I like Miss Collins, is the best nightclub in Australia on a Thursday night.
Yes. It's
I
always
like to
busy
visit
there.
Melbourne. I don't know that particularly much about there, but
I don't like it a bit. I start coming as
The
soon as
weather?
there. Huh?
It's because of the weather?
No, because that's
Or because of me?
no, because of the situation over there, right? And
But have you gone to the beautiful places like Phillip Island and 12 Apostles or
Great Ocean Road,
Great
yeah.
Ocean Road?
That's Victoria. That's not
that's
Melbourne. You're talking about
yes.
Melbourne.
Okay, Melbourne City.
Melbourne's.
But also Melbourne City to me, I think they're more arty and more cultural.
Yeah, all the
And more
theatres,
fashionable.
theatres and
Like
all that
what? You know, like honestly, did we visit
The weather, okay, the weather's crap and the beaches are crap. But it's actually quite a beautiful city.
stuff. Yeah.
Look, I don't want to go into politics, but Melbourne, it's, I think that Melbourne, the people are sad. Sad as. And I said, Wako and I, we're catching up very clearly there so many times. I've been in Brisbane twice in my life and I fall in love. What's it called, that major street, like a big street in Brisbane?
The Queen Street Mall.
Yeah, that's where it's like people like, when I walked there after lockdown, I was like, am I in the same country? Like,
Yeah.
but Melbourne, it's a sadness over there.
I think it's just I don't know, the warmth. It's just that little bit warmer, isn't it? Makes you feel. I love the warmth. So then that makes it just that little bit nicer.
It is cooler in Melbourne, that's for sure. But
And
again,
the
I'm coming
sun.
from neither Melbourne nor Sydney or Brisbane is my hometown, so I could
course.
probably make a fair comment. Which one's better? There's no one city called better city. Everyone's got a. It's like Darwin, right? Says there is good and as bad as positive and negative. Right? Sydney is not a perfect city, but it's got a lot of things that other cities don't. Right? Melbourne's got the same thing. Brisbane's the same. So even Cape Town's got things that we don't have. Right? Other cities.
Oh, they have a lot of Cape Town,
Yeah.
so a lot of body parts over there.
So,
You said
Hang on,
when you
hang
were
on.
not here.
It is
you
the number.
said when you
No.
come to South Africa. Yes, you did.
Hang on. We were discussing delicacies, and we don't want to hear what the Filipinos said they're eating. And
Yeah.
we were going through all the organs that I got to Australia. And I'm like, I'm glad to see that when I go shopping, I don't see kidneys and liver and trump and trotter in the supermarkets,
Wow.
and tongue and
But they
brains
do
and all
have
this.
that.
It's more in the
Yeah.
butcher
Yeah.
store.
Yeah, you would be to. Whereabouts do you live? In
No, when you go to Woolies.
Oh, Woolies don't sell it because
Yeah.
they just sell the chicken and meat.
they're not sophisticated.
That's right.
That's
That's
right.
what
You're missing
right.
out.
No,
The
but
local
Melbourne.
butcher would serve some of that.
Not that I'm not missing it, by the way.
Okay, well, the problem in Melbourne is something I never experienced quite
Yeah.
since my childhood. That people are whispering.
Oh.
Maybe they're watching us. I said, what do you mean? Like who? They're dobbing in Victoria.
Yeah.
I mean, this is new national sport apart of hacking, right?
Yeah.
It's a dobbing. And I said to myself, in communism was not like this. I'm telling you, this was not like this. In communism, the government instigated to talk more because more you talk, more we listen. But here in Melbourne, everybody's like, you never know what you say. Who? What? What?
And I think when I was in Melbourne a couple of months back, I noticed there's a lot of angry people. People are
Angry
on
people.
another level. I've never seen so much fights break out in the city. Like, I saw somebody get thrown out of a club and he ran and just kicked the glassing of the shopping centre. And I'm like, what is he doing? And the amount of aggression is like, there's too much fights in Melbourne. So I think I don't know, there's just something about people are angry.
I think they've done it
Well,
tough.
Yeah, what happened? What do you think? What happened to Melbourne? The world's longest lockdown. Right, so people do get frustrated. Then you see other side of the picture where people are taking advantage of it. You hear whether it's conspiracy issues or what's really happened, and you hear. And these days, we live in a very transparent world. From the media point of view, you hear a lot of things that the politicians doing, and it's two different worlds, and people find it very unfair to be subject to this sort of reality where some people live still very high, and some people struggling, some even become homeless.
Look, I'm happy coming to Sydney. I feel I can breathe. I'm staying in Brisbane, but in Melbourne, something is kind of like it's just crushing my chest right now. I mean, and don't take me wrong. I'm not Victorian, and I remember before the COVID, many people told me, "Oh, Melbourne, Victoria." I said, "Dude, it's in your house, man. I love this, not Victoria." And then suddenly, every time when I drive there, like when I go out, I had a few clients over there. Everybody's in fear, literally fear, not from the viruses, all these things, but the fear from something. And I said, what are you afraid of? I'll tell you the story. Once upon a time, my dad, you know, even he's a communist, he was looking for the glimpse of the light in his life. So what my father used to be doing, he would wake up 4 o'clock in the morning, he'll make the coffee, and like a packet of cigarettes in half an hour will go like this, right? Literally. And then he'll go in the bathroom, cover himself with a blanket. In the bathroom, sitting in the bathroom, cover a blanket. Can you imagine smoking the coffee? And he will listen to small radio. The station was a Voice of America. And time passed by, and one day there comes the guys in the letter coats on the door and say like, come with Slavko? He says yes. He said, we'd like to come with us. Like, what the heck? I mean, Stalin, Lenin, all the pictures, Sorry, not Stalin. Stalin was not accepted in Yugoslavia. Anyway, he's been arrested, and after 7 days they returned him home. Oh, blue and everything. And they're doing all these searches, in our house. And they found a small radio, because in communism, even today in Europe, I'm not sure you know, guys, the TV you at home, you need to report to government. Doesn't matter you're watching cable TV you're paying on. It must be reported. And the radio as well. In the car, at home, and everything. And I said, this is unreported, what's it called?
Like contraband.
Contraband, right?
So he was not allowed to have it, that's why he was
That
arrested.
one. And they started listening, and they left the radio to work 24 hours. So they were sitting with us at home. And then 5 a.m., bing, Voice of America. And today in Hungary, revolution! Oh, my father's like, oh my God, the communists are crumbling. I better we change the system sides. The red books in the jacket.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and they again took him away for 30 days, and he came back home. He was being, what they call this, re-educated. The camps is called re-educational camps. They don't call like prison. We're gonna re-educate them. And for when you walk in that camp, you face 2,000 angry re-educated ex-colonists, now bigger colonists, they're bashing you, going on them, to come to the end and say like, oh man, long live the communism! We don't love America anymore. My mom reported him.
Wow.
That's the point story. My mom reported
Were they still married after that?
He did.
Oh.
He was married more than ever. He was married to her even more than ever.
He was re-educated.
Yeah, he was educated, yes. And it's like, and every time when it's like, Dad, I saw somebody would bring magazines from overseas. And it's like, did you see Venice Beach? Mother, like, get that magazine out of my house. I have a box, shoe box, Nike sneakers box. And he will bash me for days because I have that box. Because it's contraband. Can you imagine? Box, shoe box.
The consequences.
Because your mother's going to report us.
So I mean, gosh, it's such a world away, isn't it? Like such a lifetime ago for you. You're in a different country. You're in a better place. I can tell you, like, not coming from Australia, and you come from South Africa, obviously Cape Town. I know it's very difficult there at the moment as well. Different. We're just so fortunate to live in Australia, and you do take it for granted. I mean, built by immigrants now, so many of us and stuff. But it's just to hear that kind of story, you go, my God, it's so different to the life that we live here now. And I mean,
Benny, I agree. But this is I want to introduce to Benny very quickly, because he was introduced by Ainsley Dennis. I can introduce to Benny.
Yeah.
Long time ago when I started my business, 2009, Inside Intelligence, I met Wendy in the Chamber of Commerce. And while I was being the subject of bullying and being get out of this country, everything else, I would try to build a business. But I've been hurt, but it's okay. It's a part of learning. I said to everybody, whatever they throw on you, accept it, learn something from this more. Manage is stuck as my friend. And I start my business with literally zero. And I come to Wendy. I said, listen, I want to be your best friend. Can you make a website I pay you in installments? And he says, yeah, okay. So we're talking 2010, 2009. And I remember for $600 one page or something, was looking beautiful. And I was paying my website for 16 months to Wendy. 16 months, $600.
A month.
For 16 months. Divide $600.
how can you say no to this guy?
And anyway, so like this was my first website. So since then, I stuck with Wendy and everything, like my t-shirts and everything, Everything comes to Wendy, my websites. the guys doing it. That's how I know the
So
way.
when you do marketing,
Yes, that's what I do. I have a marketing and
oh,
advertising.
we need to talk.
And that's what she does. Like, you don't need to go to all these fancy gurus online, everything else. What the best part it is, she will translate my English very clearly. And I said, "Ooh, that's exactly what I want." Like, so that's what I say. Like, I don't like it Melbourne because of that whispering, because everybody's afraid to talk.
And
It
yeah,
depends
Mario, I thought you went on a course in digital marketing and Canva and all of this wonderful things.
I take all that credit. Actually, they're listening. They're posting. My team, Xavier and my team, Jagan, has helped out today to update.
Yes.
So there's a team behind me, guys. It's not just me, but Mario is just a pleasure to work with him and him and Teresa. They're just lovely people. But I think there's such value in our networks, and there's such value in sticking with people that obviously are like-minded, and that, like Mario he's always moving forward with something else, you know what I mean? Like, the man doesn't sit still for too long, and I think that's a credit to...
By the way, the cup is already...
There you go, you like the cup too. He's all branded like the battlefield.
And well, look, what I learned as well, like, I know how it's in politics, Wendy, right?
Yeah.
But I think the visuals are very important. And I say, I'm going to share some secrets. When I embarked on my venture to start Inside Intelligence, I have no clue about marketing, sales. And in same token, I couldn't afford vendor services as well. So you can't just be the lead, give me this, give me this, give me that. You know what I mean? That doesn't work that way. But one thing what I learned when I started doing investigations is being in face to the potential clients is important. So when he created for me mouse pads. So I used to be sending before the digital age, everything envelope. So I put a chocolate and a mouse pad. I put the chocolate to client and something very creative with our logos and everything else. So the case managers will sit there behind the desk, it's like, how do you send this case? Oh, look at Instant Intelligence, it's there, boom. And I would say it was a good gamble. Chocolate is always good stuff to get. I've been called twice that this is a bribe from the GM head coach. It's like, I just sent the chocolate, this is not value, like it's less than $5. I know what I said, but it's okay, you know what I mean?
Throw out the chocolate if you don't like it. I dare you.
Yeah, but that's like, the visuals are very important. So like, I know that, last year, I'm going to share this with you. My boy is Aussie, oi. And I said to him, let's go in Croatia. That is showing home, right? He loved it because it's winter. And the hormones in him doesn't allow him to be nothing else, to be cold because he's hot for him. And he says to him, dude, because that's how he calls my son, dude. He said, your jacket, king, you know what I mean? I said, yeah. Because when she designed all these king things and I just printed everywhere, I walked to the airport of the website www.mariobeckes.com.au. And Mateo says to me, everybody just Googling you, like, and I was like, really? I was like, let me do more my jacket. See, you wear your jacket. I'm proud. I said, Mario Beckes King, self-proclaimed king, right? There's no official title.
I see you got a crown
There's
as
the
well.
coronation.
Yeah. And you know what? I'm asking everybody. I tried to find a crown for Monday. Plastic crown.
Oh, well, you didn't tell me, did
No,
you?
I can't find
Hang
it.
on, I can get you
No,
Princess crown.
No, shit,
And a sash.
why not pink tutti?
With the King's impending coronation, there's plenty of crowns around.
Yeah,
So-
see, I tried to do Amazon, but everything's overseas. Like I waited 3 months. It's like,
Well, maybe that's why. Maybe everyone's buying crowns for the coronation.
everything's going to
There's a
England.
world shortage now of crowns.
So that's the Wendy Goni, and everything what I do, like, if you want to do properly once, you pay, but you done properly. What do you think, Vaku? How visuals important are?
Very important.
Yeah.
Well, but the other thing is visual could be deceiving.
Okay.
So it's almost like you are. I mean, we share a lot of things in common, but I do not share your view on Melbourne because what you see is visual. Because
No,
you do
I
not
felt-
spend.
I
Yeah,
felt-
you do not spend enough time in Melbourne to understand what Melbourne's all about. I mean, why Melbourne has obviously grown to be the largest city in the country after 100-something years. It's grown by 20,000 more people than Sydney. You know that? A couple of weeks ago.
Listen, it doesn't matter what you say. It can be golden toilets, Saddam Hussein towels, Versace
Yes.
food, man.
Yeah.
But as I say, I saw with my own eyes,
Yeah.
and there's nothing appealing for me there.
Yes.
As like you living there,
Yes.
that's no question asked. But I will say to people, when you go to Melbourne, be prepared. Okay, let's talk about visuals.
Well,
I
I
was
just
gonna say,
want to
we're
jump
talking
in
about
with
visuals.
I know, I just want to just.
This is an audio environment talking about visuals
It
on
is.
radio.
Yeah, definitely.
That
Just
is
go
very
back-
descriptive.
Yeah, just go back to Melbourne as well. One of the things I must say.
Nightclub, okay.
No, it's just not just the nightclubs.
Yes.
It's actually probably the most livable city out of all cities in Australia, in the sense of the cost of living, the element. There's more of a social element in Melbourne. You go out there and everybody's out, and there's no bloody lockdowns at 1 o'clock in the morning in clubs. Like people are out till early hours in the morning. The social element is there, even though people are a bit upset after the lockdowns and stuff, but they're much more social. You can get around in Melbourne. You don't have to. You can jump on trams. You can do things. The weather's crap and the beaches are crap. Other than that, it's a great place.
Listen, Linda, listen very carefully. Did you ever saw that video, Listen, Linda? There's a little boy, Mateo, 15 years ago. Did you ever saw? I'm going to show later because we can't play now the music of these things.
But Murray, just be careful. You have more Melbourne audience. You might lose them.
No, that's okay. That's okay. But I went in Melbourne regularly every 2-3 weeks because I see my clients, anything else. And I always when one of the part of my curriculum of my work was, okay, information is the most valuable commodity in business and law, question asked, right? And my job was information. And one of the part of information, collecting information, was obviously looking at this, digital things and everything else and blah, 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 right? But the true sentiment is the people on the ground zero. When you talk to the people, cabbies, strippers in the club. Honestly, no jokes, the people who are working there, that's a true sentiment, right? And the visuals in Melbourne, it's like when you drive into the city of Melbourne, what's the first building you see? What's the first high-rise building you see?
Crown.
That's not true.
In the city?
Melbourne. You're coming from that whatever that bridge it is, and then you see that what's it called, the Ferris wheel,
Yeah.
which doesn't work for the last 20 years either. What's the first building you see when you drive into Melbourne? Victoria Police.
No, man. You see Crown when you walk
Yeah.
in. You see the Crown Casino.
Listen.
Which way do you come from? The airport?
From the airport you drive.
The first big building, I'm not going to say where the authority
Yes.
is a set of apartments developed by Benson's property with 10 what color? Reddish beams poising to the sky. And that's the first tall building you see.
You're wrong.
What you
So now when
see
you got in Melbourne?
afterwards,
No.
what you see afterwards,
Yeah.
what you see, the police buildings are way after. You got before that, you have Children's Hospital, you have Women's Hospital, all before that.
High-rise
Yes,
building.
this is a high rise.
Hospital's not high-rise building.
The
High-rise building is sign.
yes,
Victoria Police.
Victoria
Okay.
Police is way after.
Okay,
Way-
I'll
way
rephrase this one. When you're driving in Melbourne, everything's beautiful. The chocolate flowing, it's like everybody holds their hands, dancing kumbaya, and people are so happy. They don't want to leave the Melbourne, right? So that's what it is. So like, you have the nightclubs, right? You have nightclubs. I went to the Waco, some nightclubs as well. They're all being shut down. I don't know why, but they're shut down. And I'm truly admire Melbourne for the architecture. I think it's beautiful. Right? I think it's amazing. I think it is. But I love Sydney.
Oh, well, look, I'll just give a shout out to someone I know down in Melbourne who owns a club down, well, it's a piano bar, Piano
Yeah,
Bar
please,
Chapel. So
share it out, yeah.
shout out to Simon Ross.
Hello, Simon Ross. Everybody quote.
Get out and have a few
Lindsay.
drinks with Simon as he plays the piano at Piano Bar Chapel.
Okay.
Yeah.
You love piano musical?
I love everything.
Oh.
Except heavy metal. Heavy metal I'm not fussed on. That's where I
Maybe-
kind of draw the line.
Who you want to do shout?
Oh, to my team.
Okay, please.
Yes, my ex designs team. Yeah, very very proud to been in business for a long time. As you said,
Yeah.
you're dating me, you're aging me by saying how long you've been dealing with. But I think it's when I think of, like I was just saying before, all the things that you're moving on to, you know, you've got inside intelligence, you've got Mario Becky's, you're building your brand and all that sort of stuff. I feel very, very honoured to be here today.
Oh, thank you.
I'm very very happy that you've set yourself another target, another something else to climb, and something else. You know, you've got to see through your goal, and then it's like, oh wow, well what's next, Mario? You know, like we're gonna
Jump
get
on
through.
bubble, that's for next one. And we know that, yeah. So we have the boxing in February,
Yes,
and then we have the balloon jump.
balloon
Hot
jump.
air balloon.
Yeah.
You're jumping from the balloon.
Okay, it's too much.
Is it, like
So-
is it a bungee jump?
No, the 2012, the Felix Baumsteiner from Austria, he's cracked the record 40 kilometers above the air. So I want to go farther higher.
So you want to jump out of a balloon, and what are you going to do when you jump? Like parachute?
Yeah, but did you saw this one? No, I'm gonna
Free fall.
again. I'm
He's
gonna
gonna fly.
I'm gonna fly above. No,
I
listen.
don't know. You could be
I'm gonna
bungee
fly-
jumping from a balloon.
I'm gonna
I don't.
fly above the Victoria, and I'm gonna hold the hands with the midgets in the air with the gremlins, so we don't just go back. No, it is 45 kilometers above the air. That's
Wow.
a twist.
See, I was thinking about that, like when I was coming here, going, wow, you know, like you've done this, you've done, you know, and I'm aware of it because you know I put it all over your mugs and all of that sort of stuff.
I think
all
the
over
people
your
look.
shirts.
It's like, you know, this is. I wanted people to understand one thing. When I found myself in such a situation with my family member, I can't name him, but everybody knows, and his medical condition. First of all, I couldn't ask a better place to be without being on show. Then today, I'm sitting today with a member of parliament. You know, Ainsley, who's a great man. You know, he pushed this organization to the greatness. Vako, who's a friend of mine for many years, and yourself, Wendy. If somebody told me 20 years ago, before I come to Australia, that I will, sit here today and talk to you guys, I'll say it's lying. You know what I mean? Can I ask you something, Ainsley? Can you just talk quickly, guys? Can you do my book, The Blood of the Soul?
Have you got your
Blood of
speech
the
ready,
Soul?
Mark?
No, I want to read something. I want to read something.
Oh, this one?
No, the book.
Oh, here.
The red one.
I don't know about
Happy to be a part of this one. I don't know.
Yeah,
about
but you
the jump,
will be.
I
I mean,
might
that's
come and watch maybe.
that's
Just make sure you jump over the water, just in case.
okay. Can I read something from my book? Okay, it's a
Yes.
just okay. So I want you to understand why I'm saying this one.
What book is this one? Which one?
This is the
Blood
4 or 5.
Soul.
Yeah, 4 or 5. I was calling
So for
bestseller.
everybody visually, there's a blood-soaked and soil, and on the one side it's got, I think, is that Russia?
No, that's Yugoslavia.
Oh, is that
Communist-
Yugoslavia?
That's a communist. That's a
I
communist.
know the other
party
one's
flag.
Croatia.
That's Croatia. So we separated. I mean, from the
And
communist.
is Yugoslavia still around?
Sorry.
Like, is it still around?
No, we make sure that doesn't rise there because
So what happened to Yugoslavia? What country is it now?
So 1989, the Berlin Wall fall.
Yeah.
Everybody remember this one. Everybody was like, what is going on? Like, and I was then young communist, socialist actually then in, military school and
Yeah.
the pupil of the revolution, where it's going on. 1990 comes the Romania.
Oh, so is it Romanian now?
Romania was December 24th, 1990. They have this, I think it's 1990, I need to Google it. I think. And they on TV watching, it's like, okay, what's happening? Ceausescu, the leader of the Communist Party of Romania, is being deposed. Anyway, they start shooting security intelligence services versus army versus civilians. Anyway, 2 days later, he's being shot down. And then Yugoslavia says, like, well, that will happen to us. And the war started. That's what it is. It's like, what I want to do now? Like, should they fight for the Yugoslavia or for my country, Croatia?
So is Yugoslavia being absorbed by Croatia now?
It's like no. Yugoslavia was consisted from 6 republics, 6 different languages, 6 different religions, 6 different letters, but we understand each other perfectly. It's like Australia. We have 6 states, right, and 2 territories. And sorry, Australia has 1 territory, right? One. We had 2. Yeah, sorry. So it was being after Second World War, the country being assembled by the Tito, Communist Party, Churchill, and all these guys, and we all live together in happiness and long live the communism. And then, 14th of July 1991, I wake up in the morning. I see military police on my door. It's like, what are you doing on my door? Like, And they said, report in army barracks. And I was going to military school, Navy military school. They said, report to the infantry. It's like, I'm 18 years old. I'm bound to go in the war. Military, already military for the last couple of years. And then I saw that actually we're starting fighting for democracy. I didn't even know what democracy is. So I was walking downstairs for coffee, smoke with my friends, divisions. Serbs on one side, Croatians on the other side. So people we till today, this morning, all together, we become enemies. And look, where's my parents? Where's my dad? Where's my mom? And I saw the message on the desk. They say, we're okay. So my father is king. So I want to read you why I'm believing you guys. So, just want to find this one. Just give me a second.
I'll talk so long so just make
Okay,
sure
so-
that you still honor your city.
Okay, go on a second. I remember that day, 15th of January 1992, sometime around 10 o'clock in the morning. I remember because we had a phone meeting with the commanding officers. And that stage, 1992, in January, I was ready to war 7 months. I have enough. We were losing war, we couldn't hold anymore. It's a federal army against us, plus, all these different groups and agendas. There was always some raised alarm of dangers of situation being explained to us, some potential attack. But this time, the point was that there was no attack coming. The snow became white, the sun. It was cold, a few degrees below, but that sun on my skin was beautiful. We had got some new weapons, including some anti-tank missiles and rocket launches. We felt like we were becoming the true army, not just a ragtag group. Because at that stage in the war, everybody escaped. In November, everybody, the guys I knew it, alpha males, gone. Capable men 35 plus, gone. So my unit, Special Forces, being filled with 65 years old men to dig the trenches so we can continue fighting. So they took the people from hospital with cancer to fill the ranks. Anyway, not so sure. We still went uniformed like a proper army in peacetime, but we knew one thing: they're afraid of us, enemy. If they weren't afraid of us, they would have attacked us. And so I come to the point. I was in trenches, and there was a TV in the basement. So we had a shipping container, dig 2 meters down into the soil. Those old people were doing, and we were sleeping there and fighting the First World War. These soldiers were watching some foreign channel. Dear Lord, if I only knew how they found this channel on TV. At that very moment, I saw girls in a bikini dancing on the edge of the pool and jumping in the water. They had McDonald's burgers. I never seen McDonald's burger in my life. I heard of them but never had the chance to try. McDonald's didn't come to Croatia until much later, like 10 years later. The beauty of everything I was watching sent me into a daydreaming mode. Part of me daydreaming, part of me was observing what was going around me. For that moment, I was thinking, oh my God, I wish someday. The very next moment, I lifted my head towards the sky and I saw a beautiful golden orange line. A plane was flying up high, and I told everybody loudly, I'm going to be on that F-plane to Ibiza. Everyone was laughing, smiling. I laughed at it too. The others looked at me like, you think you're going to be on the plane. I said, if I survive, this is. Then the shelling bombardment started again. It was like a First World War. I can't explain how many shells were failing on our city and our lives. I was like, okay, this is it. This was the attack. 7 years later, I was in a show. Dreams come true, man. No, McDonald's come true, not the girls in bikini. But you see, that's what I'm trying to say. And that's today I'm having here with you guys. Beat you. So if somebody says to me,
Sorry.
they make you cry.
Sorry.
That's like, I was like, man, don't cry.
The connection with the container, that's how you mean through the container.
And I saw this, and it's like, talk to me.
Sorry.
So it goes to show, thoughts are things.
Yes.
All started with a thought.
The thing is, sorry to interrupt you. So that day we got international recognition. So 15th January was international recognition. When the enemy heard this, the remnants of Yugoslavia and the Federal Army, they threw everything on us. And I was literally, I was serving that. Then you saw in movies, it's a German machine gun MG42, 7.9, the belt ammunition. We ran out of ammunition. They were running over us, and I said to myself, I have no bullet to take my life. And somehow everything stopped for me because I was shot I got in the head, wound, and next thing I wake up in the hospital. That was funny. But it beats a chicks, you know. Yeah. And now you think about this, yeah.
Yeah, from 7 years later.
I was in Australia.
How did you get here?
Well, I never this is the very perverse story because I was in military in '96. I was in hospital third time when I was wounded. I had some things in my mouth, and my father passed away. I knew he was dying, right? Anyway, I was in the funeral, and after funerals, I stopped drinking, and one thing leads another. So I had been approached a few months later in one of the coffee shops. It's coming this beautiful blonde lady, like fishnet top. It's like she looks like just Michelangelo make her like, and the four guys in a black. And I said, I see the reg on the car. It's a capital city, it's like BMW, capital city reg, guys in black, She comes to me, she says to me, Mario. I say, yes, I am. She says, this is the letter for you. You know who I am? It's like, and she said, I know who you are. Monday, 7 o'clock morning, we want to see you in capital city. Because I was in military security apparatus, I can't say what exactly, but I was. And I saw the letter, and Monday morning I come in. Remember this movie Men in Black, first part, where the Bruce Lee comes in his orange team? I come as well in capital city, 200 kilometers train between my city and the capital city. Take a 7 hours the train. Night shift. So I come in my jeans and I walk inside. There was Pierre Cadence eyes, shoes, polish. And I don't belong here. It's like this is not like. Anyway, during that 6 hours, 400 of us was in this amphitheater, and as I'd explained what it is, people are slowly falling back. There's about 50 people left, and the guy comes and Becca's, and then you stay, everybody else go home, sign the papers, you never been here. It's like, dude, I'm not staying here. This is rubbish, all of my military and everything else. And they explained to me, this is good for your health to take this job. And 2 years I was being trained and everything else. And 18th of November, they said to me, this is your suitcase. You are on the way to Australia. It's like, what? You know how far away Australia it is? Do you know how far away that it is? 42 hours, man. And I was on the plane like a Spider-Man. I was like, when are we gonna land, man?
I want to know, you used to be going for something else as well. I've heard about it, that you actually going to go and fight in some.
So February, you're gonna hear this. My coach and I, Rodney Williams.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, my last 2 fights didn't go well before the COVID. I lost.
Yeah.
I don't think I should fight those guys because they're 20 years younger. So yeah, I was stoic.
It's just a number.
Yeah, I shouldn't know, but I should know better.
Your boxes as well.
Yeah, right, yeah.
Such you gonna see it like someone. This camera, I think this camera. Maybe not.
Well, I know that it's one. Guess what? It's 1 hour, and
Oh, I see what
it's
you mean,
actually
the
2 o'clock.
lights.
Mario, guess what?
It's live. It's live. Mario's
Just guys. It's like a
YouTube,
show.
you're
Like,
live on YouTube.
like later when my friend Enzi texted over all these things. So I want to Wendy, Lindsay, thank you very much for being my guest today. With you.
Sure.
And guys, can you just take it over for a second and take the picture with Wendy? And
Yeah.
we can see what's happening. This one is working. So this
Allow your brand new champion up here to take the picture.
is correct, Amy. So
Yeah.
Do
Spanish tattoos.
you?
Spanish status.
I'm a Latino.
Ah, yes, I met you before. Hadn't I? Not
Yes, I
Yeah,
have.
just, now that you say that, I think you told me that last time.
Yes.
So you know that you're always drunk.
Well, not always wrong, but I mean,
But that's what your tattoo says.
yes, I already found out off. Siempre borracho.
You know what my Chinese get drunk.
Yes. Say it in Chinese.
陶醉,
How
meaning
is
you're very intoxicated. When you say intoxicated,
Yeah.
it doesn't necessarily mean that you a bit of too much to drink, right?
Could be
Yeah.
anticipated.
You're something you do. Right?
Nice.
Same effect.
Awesome. Yes.
Okay, so we're going to go. Just
Make sure that
it must.
And you need to get a photo quick, and then you're gonna do.
Check it.
You feeling, Mario?
No, the live is going. Okay, so check. I feel good. No. Checking my hemorrhoid. What is happening? I said, okay. Oh man. So thank you so much. I was like, look. And I want to say to people, that's again, I truly want dreams. You know, that's something. You know. Man, I was always there. Like a car. Consuming. But I always.
Transcript of all of this. And of this.
That don't be whatever I say today. Me, I'm gonna transfer this Guinness. So no. "54 minutes. Sorry, I need to start reading from that side, not from the. That's why. Everybody, feel free to come on our website, marioworldrecords.au. Design and head. Maybe links.
One day you You're welcome.
So yeah, thank you for all of you guys for being today with us. You know what I mean? Wow, expecting another guest. Her name is Rachel. My studio. That's what it's all. When you are run radio.
Diverse English broadcasting. In the end, I was funded to do a program on community theatre.
Okay.
So I had a program called Chookers. So yeah, so Chookers.
So what was that?
Chookers.
Chookers.
So good luck. Yeah. Yeah, I used to all across Sydney and New South Wales. Change theatre scene, as well as professional theatre as well. I've interviewed people from Labies and all sorts of people, but yeah, it's based on musical theatre, which community radio, you've got to have an element of Australian content, which sometimes, depending on your programming, can be difficult. And let me tell you, for Australian musical theatre, it's very difficult to get Australian cast recordings. There's quite a lot from a long time ago. So much in the modern arena. A lot of our, even things like, some of our Australian musicals were actually, the recordings actually weren't Australian, they were from overseas, which makes it a little bit difficult, but it's got to get creative in how you manage to get your musical content.
Speaking of the opportunity, set the record straight. We don't make homes out of containers anymore. I mean, that was the prototype we built many years ago, just to get to understanding of what the steel structure is all about.
Yeah.
So, cut the long story short, what we're doing today is that using the same integral structure. Steel shipping container from the appearance point of view, it's not. Actually, we're helping. The other shipping container look like we call it to the ship, whether you have because shipping lines or more. So what we've done, rather be a victim of the system, we actually got to beat it in a creative way. So we we manage the process. So the bottom line is that we try to create something that people can afford, see as a burden, become a burden to the earth, and most importantly, it's friendly to the pocket as well. So
anything though, isn't it? Industry
Yeah.
will drive it. So if you can work out a way less expensive than when there's a crisis with some shortage,
Yeah.
that's when people
Yeah. Triple P bottom line, planet, all of this mentality. A lot of people look at the profit in a business, and unfortunately, we come. We have no baggage, and whatever we come up with, we look at these triple bottom line.
So it sounds like to me you've got what I like to call in business a smart heart. So you're not just a transactional company, you're also a transformational company. So to having a business that also looks beyond making money.
Yeah, typically, I always believe you do it to 100%, not halfway. Coming again back from that, my heritage teaching, Taoism. I always believe that take time, and again, what's
Which I'm going to go off. Thank you.
Thank you. We need to do.
Fasting.
Yeah,
That's intermittent fasting.
I do that every day.
My friend came on the week, and she's from, and I love all the food.
Yes.
And we had a Szechuan hot pot.
Yeah.
Whatever you need to do.
What form?
Wrapped in a bamboo leaf, and it's got rice.
Oh
in
yes,
it.
粽子.
Oh, it's beautiful. Yeah.
On the stuff.
Yeah.
And it's a seasonal. It's usually in China. It's a season. It usually happen in a festival. 1,000 years where he's happy with the politics of time, and he
This thing in that bamboo, and it's.
So people loved him, and one way of selling. Has
things.
Sad, I put the headset so I can.
I came to one of these. This is like deja vu.
Like, and it was,
My
yeah,
God.
and like, you know, Mario started to do the radio, and that's it. He brought and cast.
Being surrounded only with the people who are have the big names in life, in politics. You know, I find those things, right? Them social, and there's, you know, there's you both know.
Well, I'm
Yes.
very proud of the fact that Mario hasn't had a cigarette since December.
December, yeah,
Well done.
December. Very
December.
proud of you, Mario.
And as you remember, I was in
Yes.
Melbourne talking to Wako, and Wako says to me, you know, this wisdom, and, all the problems coming on, right? Putting him out, coming out.
Oh yeah.
And then as well with and everything else, and you know, I think it's time. You know, it is, you know, it is something I can't. Don't feel well.
Yes.
Playing with Mattel, I was supposed to mention his name, you know, because it's like,
Now you're in trouble.
now I'm in trouble here. Because says to me, it's about you, why putting me in sack? Because I love to do it. Don't you quit, you know. He said, like, I know you love smoking and everything else, but every time to continue the throat. That just happened. You know what I mean? Learn things. That's where I learn things about
Yes.
life itself. You know what I mean? And that's what I'm grateful to be with you, with family. You know, today, because it is a challenge, and it's like in all respect that 56 hours just you know, it's gonna be easy. You know, and I'm very, but to very different person. Right? You know, maybe I'm gonna be cranky, maybe I'm gonna be, but I know I'm gonna finish this one and that. But what I'm what's gonna enjoy and pride is the people who bring me today, and not that you're outside, but I start from the point before we start today. Him some, and I said, "You show that you know there's a number of the people who's gonna write me that like, it's a magic. Constantino, whatever. They're not there. So I'm thankful for them. And I'm thankful today, clearly, with
I think the people that are here, I mean, but also the ones that
I don't think we need any, but I do want to share an experience of myself. You know, many years ago, I was what is it? Something come to me when about fasting, and this guy doing this fasting in America, and he's doing a etc. I won't tell you exactly what I wanted to do, but I heard about it. So and fasting, he was basically so he didn't have exercise. So what I did was during that 3.5 seconds, I swam where I could never smell my neighbors cooking to the my 1 kilometer of swimming. Every time I come up to for air, I can smell everything in the air.
Because here,
Yeah.
when she walks 35 kilometers
Yeah.
in one day.
Yeah. Is that I and I don't deny that, but I program myself mentally said,
Yes,
yeah, it's my target, and one enough, and you hold. Very easy for me to pantry and grab very easily, but I walked away from it. I didn't see him. I didn't see it at all. I didn't see it was an empty space. So throughout the years, I've trained myself. Would serve like the Grave Lane in Melbourne, full of. Hear it, smell it, but I didn't see it.
And he made a
Yeah.
decision to
Yeah.
stop smoking.
When I'm seeing people smoking, I don't. I'm who I'm to judge. Say they are they are not what's it calling for the smoking, whatever it is, right? Just one is covering, so that. But I can, and you know what the fact it is, it's even better. I really enjoy smoking, because you know it was that it's that type of culture. We were born with the smoking. The man, you know what I mean? Let's try.
Gotta do that.
Yeah. The army just amplified this, you know what I mean? Just to such an extent that I couldn't cope with this anymore, right? And then, you know, at the moments when I was using the drugs, a lot of drugs, you know what I mean? And I was fighting against this. Come on, seriously. My right now, because that's the part. Go to work, you have the coffee shop before the work, you know what I mean? Short ones with the coffee, come to the work, in your job, after the work, we all go. But when I stopped smoking, and we just have what happened to me. Now I can smell, that's one thing. Secondly, I can walk to the stairs and I don't feel sort of like this puffing happening
Yes.
to me.
Mhm.
That was one of the. It's like I done damage 30 years as well. So nothing, you're just nice and healthy.
But our body is built such a way it can heal.
Is, you know, when body is ready, it's always gonna help you.
Yeah. Cut on your finger,
Yeah.
you'll heal. It builds such a way that self-heal.
Yeah. So like that's the one thing I'm very grateful. And that's like this is what I wanna endeavor to do.
Healer is gratitude. Being thankful, yeah.
When I saw
Everything I need because I
at Mario's wallrecord.au. Feel enjoy the
run an event. Bloody long walk. They actually run it all around Australia, and it's a kilometre walk. And St. Gabriel, and it was heaps of fun. It was lots of fun, and I think anyway, I just like I run as well for health, and it's really it was just an opportunity to also raise some money for it's not really well known, and that doesn't have a lot of marketing. Rely on other people. If it's something that I like doing, why not help somebody out at the same time? It's going to cost you. If anything, you can help somebody. So yeah, the Meter Foundation is just, we went, you know what? It's a nice thing, and then you sort of leading up to the event for 6. We've got it's like a training schedule, and we want to do so many kilometers a week in order to prepare ourselves for the day. On the day, 5 kilometers, you're still a little bit after 30 minutes. But yeah.
how many
On every 10.
Yeah, 10,000. What he said before.
So I can easily get 7K a day easily.
Okay.
It's not as well. Yeah. So
that kilometer, 9 something minutes per,
I usually in the gym.
Nice.
So I walk to that beat. Sometimes be so fast.
Actually, my daughter used to say that run the what's this race that the kids run. She used to have this tune in her head, and she would run
Off the treadmill.
Yeah. I like podcast, and just something inspirational or
Yes.
health.
I do. So I have Chinese podcast, philosophical. It vibrates on the same frequencies. I have that channel. But if I walk, I usually have very pushing me.
That's what you. That's you like to do that. You like
look, I love that tension. I mean, like it's times I train. Literally, I can't stand. It's like, oh god, another 2 hours. Day, just something is really changing. It's changing, and I'm that coach. The coach. that thing on now? That's like something. All this heat, yeah.
In your blood.
Oh, heat in my blood, yeah.
Mm.
And I think by Monday, is going to. Last night I was sitting. I have that sharp pain. All these things are happening to me, but it's life unique. Sorry?
You need to.
I have a meditation. If I stand as a sensei, what's it is called? Is right? He's a
It's Japanese, is it?
yeah, 9 days. No, he's a. But he studied all his what's it called in Japan.
Oh.
Degree.
Mm.
No, like
while to learn.
Get into it.
Yeah,
Yes.
but I listen to an app that actually has a different message every night. On afterwards,
Yes.
to find something that would being in that time in that aware and be present to do. You have to keep going with it, and sometimes I do still fall asleep.
Do so if you're gonna flush, that's. So that's it's
Yes,
got to do with
right.
it. See, I think don't per beat. It's called. So your I think brain frequency is about 4 beats per second, and you're dead. You zero down to 0. When you're awake, it's a
Right.
when you are position like the Twin Towers caught fire by the hit by those people jumping in the
The adrenaline.
scene. Because at that point your mind doesn't function anymore.
Wow.
Why there's when you come so things clearly, you know. One any you
so you guys.
Hello,
Rachel.
We're gonna do a quick one.
Rachel, have a seat here. So
Yeah. Hi, I'm Wendy. Your mind. This is Mario.
no, it's okay. Oh, here we go. Ez is gonna set up.
Rachel.
Nice to meet you.
Rachel. Wait.
Okay.
And Ez has this mic. Rachel Hicks said. So Rachel. Have you ever heard of the term? Have you ever heard of the term?
The people pleaser.
She was.
Please as well.
She says it's and
In common.
yes.
Was a yes man, yes man, yes man. And then I felt being used.
Yeah, definitely.
And you know, and more I gave, more everybody wanted from me.
Yes, yeah.
Can you see, like we, you know what, Mario?
Yes.
Why did you tell me about Rachel? Yeah, and
Rachel.
but when everybody's around. When times are bad,
Rachel, see? You know, like
Side.
yes.
And Mario and I.
you relationship.
Yes, we were our relationship.
Please, all right?
No.
Please talk now. And
No,
what
we
she did, it was that was heartbreaking.
I know.
Yeah.
So
And part of
tell
it,
me-
Anthony, introduction you picked one. And second, you said the first thing, the more you give, the more people will ask.
Yes.
Can I? The one thing, you know why? Give is get.
Give us game.
I must say, the more I've also given,
Yeah.
the more I get blessed.
Yeah, that's something.
So I always talk about, can I just say quickly, Rachel, I had to learn about my happy cocktail. And it's not drinking, I know borrachos means always drunk, but it's not a happy cocktail that you go to the pub. The happy cocktail consists of 4 key ingredients.
Right.
I need these 4 key ingredients so I can find true happiness. And I'm the and orphans is over and then the third one is, now that I love, I've got abundance of dopamine. Dopamine is a feeling of goals and success and achievement, and it's just when you've accomplished something, and like when you're helping and doing things for people, you feel great because it empowers you, and it just gives you that feeling of accomplishment. Now the last one is oxytocin. Wait, Mario, I'm gonna ask you the 4 goals.
Just a second.
So we've got serotonin, we've got endorphins, we've got dopamine, and the last one is oxytocin.
I haven't heard that one yet.
Oxytocin is a love hormone.
Ah.
You get it through connections and people and love and hugging and sex and all those things. So I got the 4. I'm still working on that love hormone. But when you have that all 4 really firing